Magnetic essence, the twist of Freud. Boys, the big boys, the expensive suits, the agendas to crush the will of the truth. Undergo the misplaced deceptions, threads from the dead spun like threads. Against kids in the Gen X meds, fight for the mental, lead voices, the backs to slow down and make foul. The brainwaves of Zion, only dying but Orion got the deity thoughts, the new age hope, blotted and wrapped. Token and hijack message that led you to get casted and locked trapped in a pack of cognizant dissonant traps. Oh, okay. Thank you. Hey, Truth Serum, thank you. Shalom, shalom, family. Uh, Basically, what I just got done saying is that this is an open conversation for those that would like to share anything you want as being a targeted individual. Information that will help the family be able to navigate through these trials, the fiery trials that we go through. You need a place to go in order to be able to share and be able to receive information back that's going to be able to benefit you in your life. And that's the reason why this channel is here. This channel is to help people to be able to have a place where they can go and discuss these things that happen, because our lives are amazingly crazy and weird. A lot of our lives. I'm not putting that on anybody. I'm saying the circumstances that we go through. They're very, 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 very difficult to deal with. So Mamuk the General, shalom, shalom. If you guys can hear me now, please push a 1 in the chat. I'm putting I'm putting the stream, the link, I'm putting it in the comment section. You can already see it right here on the screen. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to come in and to share your truth and to tell us what we need to know in order to be able to navigate through this thing. This is why we're here. Blessings. We have a 1 in the chat. We have a 1 in the chat. Good. So you guys can hear me loud and clear. Yeah. So, hey, listen. So today, you know, as far as my targeting goes today, it's been a situation where I have been reaping the blessings of the Most High Yah when it comes to just being able to have him and see him in a new way, because I'm getting away from sin. And like I've been telling you guys, we live in a sin economy. So if you sin, you are going to have people that have a connection with Satan's kingdom. The spirits in them will now be able to attack you, or they're attracted to you, and they can attack you because those spirits are not of the Most High God. They're not of the Most High Yah. So it's basically like two forces that are coming together, and the only way they click like a magnet is because they are the same. They are similar. So when you're operating in a spirit that goes against the Most High Yah and another person which is operating in that same evil spirit, they're going to be attracted to one another. That is the whole crux behind a lot of our targeting, and not the frequency. It's not to say that just because you sin that you are experiencing targeted individual situations, because you must have been awoken by the Most High Yah to be able to see the darkness, to be able to see the darkness around you, right? Because these things that these perps do and the gang stalkers do to us, they have not been detectable. They have not been visible to us in the past. At that time in your life, when the Most High God wants to awaken you to these things so that you will be able to see the tactics, to see that you have an enemy that is fighting against you. At that time, he will awaken us to be able to acknowledge our surroundings and acknowledge that our reality is not what it seems to be or what we thought it always was. This is the reason why targeted individuals are so special. Not because, and on this channel, I do not go support the fact that we're just all chosen ones, because in the Bible, it talks about a chosen one as someone that is doing a work from the Most High. He is somebody that the Most High God has chosen to do a certain work. Now, a lot of targeted individuals identify with being such because of the symptoms that they have, because of the things, the outward expressions of torment that they see. The one headlight stuff, people following you and mocking you and speaking about things in your life no one could know, and all these things. We know that those are symptoms. Just like you get sick, a person gets sick, and they're having all these symptoms, right? But what's the reason why? The root reason why you're sick? There's another root reason why your body is reacting. Your body is trying to get rid of something. That's the reason why when you get sick, you look at all the symptoms. You start coughing, you sneeze, your nose is dripping, whatever. You start to feel, you start to feel like you have the flu or something. You get weak, and then you say, okay, well, are the symptoms the problem? Think about it. Think about that. The symptoms are not the problem. It's something that's inside that's the problem. And so once you address that in that symptom, that problem inside, the symptoms go away. The symptoms came because there was a problem. That shows you there is a problem. So symptoms are actually, in this case, the symptoms are good, because not saying our targeting is good. I'm not saying that, but we are able to see our targeting. Now we can do something about it. We can be proactive. Now we can battle and come against these demonic forces that are coming against us. Now, the Most High Yah, the Most High God, he allows these things to happen in the lives of targeted individuals for his purposes, right? To improve, to basically awaken us to what's going on around us so that we can get stronger in him, right? And that we can go out and help other people, lead other people to him through our struggle. Because the greatest joy I believe the Most High Yah receives from us is in our sacrifice, in our struggle. You are going through a whole bunch of trials, but you're not losing sight of him. You are keeping him at the forefront of your life. You are allowing him to guide you and orchestrate how you move, how you operate. And he sees that as faith. It says the just shall live by faith. And so when we live that way, you are giving praise and honor to the Most High God. And now he says, look, Satan, see, look at this. My servant, she goes through all kind of stuff, but she still serves me. She still loves me. You understand what I'm saying? So we are basically on the grandest stage in all of creation, being watched by fallen angels, demons, even the Most High Yah and his holy angels. And they're waiting to see who will be the sons of the Most High Yah at the end. Are you one of those that will actually make it to the end and actually be able to go through this trial, make it through the end, and then have him say, well done, good and faithful servant? Mamuk the general, I can tell by their mannerisms and mainly through the discerning of their spirits that most of the chosen one videos are not actually real TIs. Exactly. Me too. And that's exactly how Mamuk, that's how Muck the general, that's exactly how I came to understand this. My spirit just didn't feel right when I'm watching all these targeted, these chosen one targeted individual videos. For one thing, once again, you cannot convolute the two. You can't say chosen one and then target individual because they're two separate things. Chosen ones has a kind of spiritual connotation. And that's like I told you before, the Most High Yah says you're chosen if you're chosen to do a work for the Most High God. If he chose you and you know in your heart you're chosen to do a work, that means also that you have a connection to him. So you're going to represent him. So that means you're going to reflect him. And a lot of these people that say they're chosen, they got terror. They're doing tarot cards. They have sun worship in the back. We go sun in the back. They're talking about opening your third eye. They're using drugs. They're talking about all kind of new age principles, ancestral worship, and all these evil, demonic demon doctrines. And then they say that they are chosen. See, and then they link it to the target individual experience and say, oh, target individuals are chosen. We're light workers. We're star seeds and all of these. You got to watch out for this stuff. You have to not allow yourself to be deceived. These are the doctrines of devils, and they do not care what methods they use to manipulate your mind, to make you believe a lie. They will do whatever it takes because they're the spirit that's in them, that they're actually serving. They are conduits, and the spirit that's in them is leading them to try to convince the masses that the instructions that they have is the correct way. This is the way to God. This is the way to enlightenment. This is the way to having success and having joy or peace. And then they come in with these new age practices and all of these evil principles, kundalini and all this astral projection. These people leave their bodies. They leave their bodies actually, and they can go to another place where a person is that they want to attack, right? In the spiritual realm. And they can collect information, like basically monitor this person. And they're not even in that person's vicinity. Just their spirit leaves their body and comes to where that person is. If you do not have the power from the Most High Yah, if you do not have his spirit in you and his protection on you, you are prime catalyst to be attacked and even possibly overcome by these demonic forces that is in these people, in these gang stalkers, in these perps. Think about it. You got a person that is sitting up in their crib, fasting, not eating. You didn't know that, did you? They fast. They don't eat. They seek their power, which is Satan. They do it all day long, continuously, with no stop. And then they feel this euphoria, or they feel that spirit entering to them, and that spirit is deceiving them. So now they feel a certain way, like they're feeling like they're just above the world. They feel possibly just great and all this stuff. But see, here's the thing, that spirit is trying to just completely fragment their soul to where they become a reprobate, where their minds are completely snatched away from the Most High, from being able to sense the Most High, from being able to have that connection with him, because now they have this, they're ashamed. Basically, they know what they're doing. When they get involved, when they get that far down and following Satan, they come to that place. And I believe that they come to that place where they know what they're in error. They know they've made the wrong decision. They're walking the wrong path. But if they try to get away from it without having Christ, they can be destroyed. They can be completely taken out of this place. And guess where you think they're going to go? Just the horrific evil that is surrounding these perps, these gang stalkers that made this decision to attack and try to cause torment to their brethren, either try to get some sort of financial gain, try to come up in some way, try to come up. They chose that path. Now that path is choosing them, and it's making them do things they possibly don't want to have anything to do with. We had a yesterday, I think her name was Brittany. She came on here the other day, and I was asking her a question about how she was explaining to me. She said that from her understanding, that when one of these perps that are operating with these demonic spirits, maybe these witches and warlocks, when their goal is to try to not make you feel their pain, but their joy is to make you actually experience the pain. They want you to feel every bit of the pain that comes from not having success, from having problems, from having troubles, from being tormented, because it makes them feel better or more at ease with their own struggles. It makes them feel like, oh, they're not, look, these people are going through you. They want you to go through it because it makes them feel better, not as bad. Like there's I was talking to you, I was talking to you about Alex Jones and how he had this whole back in the 2000s. There was a video that came out. He went to the Bohemian Grove, and that's where all the elites go in California, and they basically worship Satan, and they basically come together, and there's this part of the ceremony called the cremation of care. And a cremation of care was explained as such. They basically get rid of all of their regrets. They let them all go. All the evil that they've done to people, all the evil laws they've passed, all the evil agendas they've passed against people, all the evil they've done to the earth and to the world for their purposes, for Satan. Basically, it's just because they're just conduits and they do the will of Satan. And they get paid handsomely and they get all these wealths and all this, elevation. They get rid of all of their cares, and then it's basically they have a clean slate. Now they have a clean slate. So now they go back to their positions of power, and they just continue to do the evil things to the world. The CFR, all these Bilderbergers, all these secret societies that are in these positions of power, they go right back now to their places of where they work at, where they can influence the people, and they just continue it. They have no care anymore. And then what they do at the ceremony is they have an effigy or some sort of sacrifice, maybe even a person they destroyed, a physical person that's on the altar, and they kill that person. They do things to that or whatever, take them out, and that's supposed to be their sacrifice. So now basically their cares are washed away. You are dealing with people that are not people. The Most High Yah says that he has a seed, and the fallen one also has a seed. Now you could say, okay, that seed is those that possibly made an oath. They made an oath with Satan. They wanted his gifts. They wanted his goods and all that stuff. And so now they are his, right? Or you can say they were born with it. People come out the womb. There's a place in the Bible where it talks about how people were from the womb that they went astray. From the very womb, these people went astray. So it makes me think, how did they have knowledge, even as children, maybe, of what they would do? Maybe they did. These are things, the information that I'm not privy to right now. But the thing is this, regardless of when their transformation to serve the following started, it has started, and it is everywhere. And these people, they are out to get you and I if we do not have a hedge. If you don't have a hedge of protection from the Most High Yah and in his son Yahushua HaMashiach, you will be overtaken. And I'm trying to tell you this with unequivocally, there's no way out other than to have Christ, the one that died for us. Now, hey, back to what we were talking about. This is an open conversation. There's blessings to every Alfonso. If you're still there, blessings to you. Truth Sarah, let me see. So here it is. We have, if you come on here, here's the link. We can talk about any targeted individual subject that you would like to talk about, any topic that relates to this situation that we go through on a day-to-day basis, right? If you have any information to share, if you have any questions, anything else, any other questions that you might have, but keep it keep it related to this topic, okay? So let me see this right here. So once again, I see some people coming into the chat. I'm gonna wait for a while. So this is what I'm gonna do, y'all. This is what I'm gonna do. I see 9 people that are in the chat. I want people in the chat right now, in the live, so we can have a live conversation about targeted individual topics, things that you are going through, your experience, your strength, how you get over it, how you overcome it, questions you may have, that we can, as a family, come together and we can discuss these things, because this is an important. We are people that are super special, that I'm realizing, super, because we go through things consistently on a day-to-day basis that no one else is going through. We need to be able to come together and share what are you doing? What are you doing to get through a day? Don't be afraid. That's why I say this to you. You have to have Christ, because in this line of life that we live, if we don't have Christ, you're going to be afraid of everything. And Christ says he has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So if you don't have power, love, and a sound mind, you are going to be afraid of everything. And that's what the enemy wanted to always do to us. He wanted to make us so afraid that we wouldn't come together as a community, and that we would not want to share our experiences, share our hope, because he wants us to stay locked in that box of fear, of isolation. He wants to keep us on that merry-go-round, going around and around and around, not getting any help, not being able to have anything meaningful that we can take with us on a day-to-day basis in order to navigate through this. That's why I'm telling you, with Judah J, whenever I have an open chat, you'll always see a video on here when I'm going to open it up. It's not going to be a set topic. It's just going to be a whatever topic you want to talk about concerning targeted individual experience. Whenever I have it up there, it says open talk or let's talk. Come in and let's talk. Come in and let's talk. This is very, 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 very important that we do this, okay? All right, so once again, let me put this up here. Oh, if you would like to, please like, share, and subscribe. If you push the thumbs up, please push the thumbs up now. This sends people to the channel through the YouTube algorithm. It makes it so people can see the video in the search engine. So whenever I make a video, also push the bell notification, push the thumbs up. That makes it better, so that if there's, it'll come up on your search, because there's people that have said that in my channel that they've been unsubscribed. And I look at my subscribers and it just does this weird thing. It goes up and down, and it stays in the same place. And I'm like wondering I already know, they do these things to certain channels, right? So like, share, subscribe. If you would like to donate to the channel, it's $ Judah J Talks 144 at Cash App. Now I'm getting ready to there's a StreamYard link. If you would like to come on and talk, let's go. Let me see. Jacob Lopez. I recently saw 4 cars with one headlight lit in less than 1 minute once. You recently saw 4 cars with only one headlight lit. Oh, wow. So, yeah, yes, sir. That is what we would call gang stalking. That is what we would call someone watching you and trying to make you feel like you are just overwhelmed. They want to overwhelm you. They want to put you in a mindset where your reality is being shaped by them. And they want you to believe that the reality that they're showing you and presenting to you is what it really is, right? So they want you to think, there's a normal person. They would want them to think by that same experience that this is just natural. People just have a headlight that's out. When they are organized and they are trained to do certain things and to create certain stimuli, and to have you see it, knowing you'll see it, because they have a profile on pretty much everyone that's in this program. They have a profile on everyone that's in the world, and where they know certain things that will make that person maybe be more cautious or feel more anxiety, right? And their only goal is to put you in a state of confusion and also a state of fight or flight. So they now, the spirits that they operate in will now be able to they'll be drawn, those spirits will now and then will be drawn to you. So now, since you're operating in fear, they have the spirit of fear in them as well, because they serve Satan, and the spirit of fear is not of God. Now that spirit of fear of you can be heightened. And if you're now taken by that spirit of fear, now they can cause your whole reality. They can manipulate it. They can cause things to happen in your reality. They can cause people to do certain things that they possibly would never do, because now that spirit that's in them is in you. You understand what I'm saying? I've been saying this for years now. It's a spiritual game. The spirits that they operate in, they want to put in us, so that now that we will be affected by those spirits. If we didn't have those spirits, if we didn't have them, they would not be able to affect us in the way they have, right? Let's say you don't have those spirits that they're trying to put in you that are not of God. And let's say you're still a targeted individual. Now, even though you are being targeted, you know that the Most High, he says that I'm with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you, right? There's a fiery trial that allows us, that we go through. And so all things work to the good of those that love Yah, that love God. So therefore, if you didn't have those spirits in you, you might be seeing those things go on. The Most High Yah awakens you to see that you live in this darkness that's around you, but you're not going to be able to be touched by those spirits, because you have a God that is right there, that is protecting you, that is keeping you. Listen, we're just flesh and blood. When you think about this whole thing, you better remember you're just flesh and blood. So you try to take over this thing by yourself and take this battle upon yourself, thinking that you are going to actually be able to come through on the other side and think of something very wise and so astute and all educated to be able to think your way through this. You're dealing with spirits. Satan is a fallen foe, but he's a very wise, powerful, fallen foe. But his power is nothing compared to Christ. Christ is the ultimate. He is our. Listen, I'm gonna stop. Let me keep going 1 second here. Blessings to you, AB. Hi, Judah J. What are target individuals? Thank you. All right. So you must have just came here. Blessings to you. A target individual is someone that has a force that is not of God, that is targeting them on a day-to-day basis, trying to manipulate the reality, trying to make them believe a lie so that they will get caught up by those forces, so that they will be influenced and now infiltrated their temple, their minds, their soul, infiltrated by those forces. So now that they will become conduits. That is what a targeted individual is. You are someone that's been awoken to the realities, the true realities of your world, because we live in a fallen world. And so now, since you're awoken to the fact that Satan does exist, right? Then now you have a decision to make. Are you going to allow the onslaught of these stimuli, of all of this evil, all of these perceptions and persuasions that are coming towards you, trying to convince you that what you're seeing is what you should believe? If you or these influences that try to tell you that there's another way to be, there's another power source that you haven't tapped into, just like the tree of good and evil. They say, oh, well, do you want the knowledge or do you want life? They chose the knowledge. They chose the tree. So therefore, if you do not have that spirit of the Most High Yah, you will choose the knowledge. The knowledge is not what you want. You want life. Life only comes through Christ. And so when I tell you a target individual is someone that has to make a decision. They have been privy to information that is uncommon, that is not natural. That's why everyone doesn't have it, because it's not natural. But it's also that person was given that information by God, by the Most High Yah, for a reason, which means that they do have something special in them that no one else, possibly a lot of people, could not have. So target individual, we go through symptoms. The symptoms are all of the headlights and all of the little things people talk about, and the noise campaigns and all of the street theater and all these things that we talk about. But that's just the symptom. And just like a cold, when your body is getting sick, you have these symptoms that show that there's something going on the inside. That's why you're sick. But the symptoms is not the sickness. The sickness is in the inside. So you don't just treat the symptoms. You have to go in the inside and treat that. So we have to go inside of ourselves and treat our spirit and make sure our spirit is aligned with Christ. Let me see. AB. So he says, yes, I'm a new subscriber. Mamook. AB. Why would you subscribe if you don't know what a TI is? You smell perk. Hey, like I said before, Mamook, blessings to you, man. I mean, and that, you know, what I would say to this is this. Everyone is welcome on this channel. Trust, know, and believe that Judah J knows who these people are, if they are of God or if they're not. I do not believe that AB is I think he's a target individual because he's given me no other information to show me otherwise. Now, of course, your question, Muck, you said something that pertains to you. But what I do on this channel is I like to be led by discernment. And if I don't see anything on there that, you know, in the comment section, if I see something that's not right, trust me, I'll take care of it. And I'm going to have people with wrenches as well. Trust me, I'll have some people with wrenches. But AB, you are more than welcome to be here. You are a target. You said you're a target individual. You said you want to know what a target individual is. I told you, if you're not a target individual and you're just a person that wants to get information about this, what this thing is, then, you know, you're more than welcome. But you know, those that serve the fallen one, you already know. So you'll know that our God is greater. So, anyways, let me see. Okay, so if you guys want to have a conversation, real quick, if you want to have a conversation, then you can type on the link. The link is right here, and we can have a conversation about this. Anything having to do with being a targeted individual. Also, once again, if you would like to donate to the channel, it's Cash App, $ Judah J Talks 144. All right, let me see. And I put 144 because I like the number. I'm not saying that I'm 144,000 and all that. You know, that'd be a blessing if I was. But hey, I just like that number. So anyways, it doesn't seem like we have anyone that's in the chat. I need you guys to come. If you don't be afraid, don't be afraid. If you okay, listen. Let me see this chat. Blessings to you, Deborah Jackson. How you doing? Shalom. Now, Deborah, if you would like to come on the chat and talk about any topic concerning target individuals to give us some, you know, strength and hope, and just like maybe share what's been your experience, you can come on right now. And I will put, as you know, the link is right there in the forefront. And also I'll put it right here just so you can, let me see, right there. So if you want to come on, click on the button. Don't be afraid. Have a good conversation. So what I'm going to do until people start to come on to talk, I am going to come out here and let you guys hear my new song that I made. I make music. And also I'm going to start putting my music up where you can listen to it. Also, if you would like to purchase some of the music, you can also do that as well. My music is centered on uplifting. It's Christ-centered. It talks about our targeted individual experiences. And so, you know, basically, this is a hobby for me. It's a blessing to be able to do it. I like to write. And yeah, so right now, this is not available to buy or purchase, nothing like that. And but if you want to, you know, pretty soon I will have that ability to be able to make that available to you. So anyways, here's my outro. So the outro is, and once I get done with this video, we're going to come back and we're going to see if we can have some conversations. So don't be afraid. Make sure you tap on that link that you see right there. It's also in the chat, in the comment section. You see the link, and then we'll have a conversation. But anyways, here is the outro. And it's my new song. I did all the vocals, everything except for the beat. The beat's not mine, but I did everything else. So check it out.
You can feel my love. You can feel my.
Tesla magnetic essence with a twist of Freud. Boys, the big boys, the expensive suits, the agendas, the crush the will of the truth. Undergo the misplaced perceptions, red from the dead spun like threads. Against kids in the Gen X meds, fight for the mental, lead voices, the backs to slow down and make foul. The brainwaves of Zion, only dying but Orion got the deity thoughts, the new age hopes, blotted and wrapped. Token and hijack message that led you to get casted and locked trapped in a pack of cognizant dissonant scraps. We pack strength in backpacks with holes so the foe can't go up the road and get stuck in the stagnant motion. No emotion, lost in the sauce and trying to pay no cost to rise above the flaws. Just a sad story paid for and sold like the oldest trick you could ever know. Figure it, but still the drip of bad dreams and frequencies and misdirected by deities, dispelled, changed without an ounce of love. The blood of sacrifice is the price he paid to protect us from the well thought out rage that's pain to trap us in the maze. But you ain't getting fazed by that, is you? You ain't getting fazed by that, is ya?
You can't feel my love. You can't feel my.
All right, so blessing. So anyway, yeah, that's a new cut. That's a new track. If you guys would like to hear more of that, I will be putting up not now, but there'll be a link later on.
My bad.
Anyways, blessings to you, brother Lee. How you doing?
Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Shalom. So what's going on, man? What you want to talk about?
I'm gonna talk to an individual in St. Paul, Minnesota, man. I'm outside. I couldn't wait till I was trying to get home, but I couldn't. Can I get some papers? Can I get some papers real quick? Some papers. Yep. So yeah, I thought I'd try. I didn't know if it was gonna work because I was on somebody else live, and it didn't work. So I was like, I'm on my way home. So I was like, let me try and see if this will work. So, and it did. So I'm like, I should have did this when I got home. So I'm outside. I'm in the cold. On my way back home, man. I like your music.
Oh, thank you. Blessings, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Yep. I do music myself. Well, I wrote music and all right. So right now I'm in the mostly spoken word poetry. And I had a channel I was doing that. I was working with a radio show on a radio station, I'm sorry. So not the station itself, but just a show. So in Minnesota, I was somebody that was performing from in between the Twin Cities, St. Paul and Minneapolis. And becoming a target individual, it kind of changed, my experiences and my writing has changed to where, it's not like it's not like what I used to share with the public before. So, and I've been growing, because a lot of it's been coming out of depression and some of it is, just anger. And a lot of people still can relate to some of my writing because there's certain websites that I'm on that I've posted some of my material. I don't know if you can hear me that good, but I'm outside. Okay, so yeah, it's really cold, man. It's probably like 10 below outside. I left my gloves on the bus. Somebody probably needs them better than me. That's the way I was thinking, but my hands is about to fall off. But what's keeping me warm is just, I don't know, man, it's fact that just being involved in something that's greater than myself, man. Something, I've heard you, I saw your video. Actually, I seen your videos probably a couple years ago. And a lot of people, Judah, have been missing you. And there was this lady, she brought you up. God, I forgot her name, but she's a great lady, man. She brought your name up. And I was like, oh, Judah talk. So I was like, that's the guy that make the video. He got the videos. And I was like, that's the dude with the, he's an Israelite. I'm not an Israelite, brother. I want to say that for sure. But I have channels. I'm on your show talking, so I have much respect for her. I am a Christian. I do believe in Jesus. I've been calling on that name. I hope you don't kick me off your channel. Saying that. But, okay, bro.
Now, hey, just to clear something up though.
Yeah.
Now, just because you are a Christian, Christianity is based off of faith that Christ died for you. Israelite is not a religion. Israelite is a bloodline, and so that's number one. Israelites, we believe that Christ is our Savior, that He died for us at Calvary and rose.
Okay.
We just know of the background history of who He really is. We know that He is from our bloodline, and that we are His people because we received the oracles. And we during the times of Moses, and we were now made His people because we accepted that covenant. And so now the Israelites are just people that He chose to basically live his commandments in the world, to be the light of the world, and teach the world who he is and how to live.
Well, I got a lot of I got a lot of questions about the Israelite, and I have a lot of questions about Christianity too.
I would love to. I would love to answer, man, because we can't do it right here. I want to stick to that topic of the target individuals, but just to know, when you say you are a Christian, hey man, we all came from Christianity. But what I also realized is that just because you are a Christian, or Israelite, those two are not different when it comes to the faith in Christ. The only thing that's different is that we're acknowledging that we are the people of the book, and that we are his chosen people that he put out here, basically, to be able to be a light to the world. And then we failed because of our sin, and because of our sin, we got put into captivity, and that's why we're all over the world going through what we're going through. So, anyways, man, let me take you back to this question I want to ask you. In your daily targeting experience, what have you experienced? What are some of the things you've experienced?
Well, right now I'm walking down the street and I'm getting I can show you this car right now. This car coming up behind me, they do a lot of them do this with the light. Let me see if I can show you. They got the light where it's just the one.
Yeah.
Hold on, you can't see it that good. Hold on.
The one headlight?
Yeah, the one headlight, the tail light. Yeah, I get that all day. They've been zapping me with frequencies, I believe, because my blood pressure's been up. I donate plasma, so that's how I get a little bit of money here and there, extra money. And since I've been going in there, because they check your blood pressure and your vitals and everything, you got to have a healthy lifestyle to donate plasma, Like your blood got to be right, you can't have no disease and all that. So when I've been going in there, my blood pressure been over the hundreds. And I noticed when I'm at home, like this brother right here, like they sit and watch for me, they sit out, they got cars stationed at every perimeter that I'm at, And then as soon as I go home, I got neighbors, they'll do their noise campaign. Sometimes they stop because I go and knock on their doors and I confront them, but they play naive to it. And I noticed this though, Judah, too. They got sound projectors that they use with infrasound and stuff like that. So they can project sounds to make it seem that you're hearing these actual sounds, and then it's not. Because one day, sometimes it is my neighbors though, it is. But there was one time I knocked on my neighbor, I was pissed. And they know I'll fight. That's the thing about it. I can't beat up a bunch of people, man. Not when almost everybody, that's what they want you to do. Once you lash out, get weapons. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh man, I know I can beat up one targeted individual, but they just peons. That was like the people that are behind it sitting back laughing while they're watching it on some live screen, like this idiot, and then the target continues.
So just to clarify what you just said, they have weaponry that they use in order to manipulate frequencies to the point where your own ears will be able to hear whatever they're projecting on a high level. So basically your ear will be able to sense and hear some sort of voice that they're trying to pump out, some sort of music or sound, because they're using something. They're using their device. And basically it's through, a lot of the time it's through those telephone poles that have the internet boxes on them. They're not really internet boxes. They're actually sending out these frequencies that are able to come in your ear and influence you. So, and they're also able to use, if you think about it, there's these people. I mean, those telephone poles where they have these boxes and all of these. So what they do is they can also strike your body with certain frequencies. They can turn the frequency up, and since your body is electric, our body's made of electricity, right? They can manipulate these apparatuses, and they can send out a frequency that would cause you to have a pain in your body or to have some sort of issue with your body. So that is what's going on out there. They are completely aware of what they're doing, and they're doing it without our knowing, because we just think these are not just normal things out there. We just think it's just a normal pole. That's just a normal cable box. No, it's not.
Nope, it's not normal.
No.
So Lana Jude, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm almost home, but I think I got frost, but I don't know if my hand, I might, God, my hands hurt real bad. That's on my phone in my pocket, but yeah, man, it's brutally cold out here, man. And then it's slippery on top of that. So certain areas that they know that people will walk, especially targeted individuals, they won't salt that area. The guys that usually they're out here salting this area all the time. I'm over here with a bunch of truckers. None of this sidewalk has been salted at all. And I'll go outside and look out my window and I'll see the truck coming by to salt the sidewalks and the streets. So for me, it's really hard for me getting home right now. I'm about a block away. I'll be able to talk to you more without my heavy breathing and seeming like I'm about to have an asthma attack, but I'm not.
Hey, brother, make sure you get in the house and that you're okay, man. And just let you know, man, whenever I have a live, you'll see on there, it'll say something like, let's talk.
I might not be able to have another live with you. My life is in danger. I had a chance to get on this live now, and it is. This is it for me. I'm not saying like this is it. Like right now, this is all I have at this moment. Because what they're doing to me, I got a chance to talk to another targeted individual. I never met another targeted individual in my life. And they try to make me feel like I'm the only one. And I know there's other people out here in Minnesota that are targeted individuals. So it sucks when you feel like you're the only one. So they try to have me isolated. I got friends and people that understand, but they're not going through it. So they can't relate.
Okay, hold on. So right now I'm about to pray. I bind every demonic spirit of witchcraft, sorcery, murder, death, destruction, every foul spirit, every lying spirit. I bind every demonic spirit of violence and all destruction and chaos and evil and all sickness and infirmity that's ever been assigned to my brother Lee. In Yushua's name, I cast those evil spirits far away from the abyss. No. And I pray, Father, in your holy name, your Lord Yahushua, that you will give Lee your peace and past understandings. For you said you'll never leave him nor forsake him. You said those that rage against him shall be disgraced, the shame be as nothing and perish. You said you shall curse those that curse him, and you shall bless those that bless him. I pray, Father, that you will let every target, every gang stalker, and every evil person with a demonic spirit in them know that you are on his side. I pray that you will encamp your holy angels around him to keep him in your way, to keep him from dashing his foot against a stone. I pray you will make this real to him, that he will feel your power, he will feel your presence, that even right now you will change his mind about thinking somebody's going to overtake him or destroy him or just take him out. Let it not happen, Father. Let it not happen for your name's sake. In Yeshua's name I pray. I thank you for answering my prayer. You have to now walk in it, bro. You have to believe. Nothing's going to happen to you. The spiritual realm heard my prayer. So now it's going to happen. So now you're good. I'm serious. I don't care, man. It's just a faith, steady faith, like you're walking on the water like Peter. You got to believe. When you believe, that's the thing they don't want you to do. You believe, and all that spirit, the spiritual realm, they're looking at your faith now. They want to see where your faith's at. Does he really believe what that prayer that dude just said? Is he really trusting in Christ now, believing he's right there with him, that the angels are all around him? Or is he going to let the circumstance, the reality, manipulate his mind and make him think that, oh, that's what's true? Because if you do that, then that stuff that you're believing, right, that you've been believing, the negative stuff, that can manifest. But if you believe in Christ and his power, that will manifest. All right, brother?
Yep.
All right, brother. Hey,
thank you, man.
So come back whenever you want. We're right here for you. Okay.
All right.
All right, bro. I'm gonna go to the next person. But hey, blessings to you. Okay.
Yep, blessings.
All right. And see, that's what we are dealing with. Okay. We're dealing with a power that is against us that would make a person feel like their very life is going to be taken out. This is real. This is beyond real. How can you deal with something like this if you don't have the power source? What you just heard me do right there was spiritual warfare, but it's not activated unless you have faith. Spiritual warfare is not activated unless you have faith in Christ, the one that is the power. He says he's the vine. We are the branches. We can do nothing without him. You're a flesh and blood being walking in this world. You have the spirit in you, his spirit, and you have a soul. But you are flesh and blood. You live in a world that's physical. If you don't have a power on the inside of you, which is protecting you, how are you going to make it? So I've been telling target individuals, you go throughout this whole experience trying to find ways to buy devices to put in your house or the foil to protect you from high frequency weapons. You want the street theater. You're tired of it. So you want to fight somebody, not knowing that you are one amongst the flock, the many that are out there to torment you, to possibly take you out. But their tactic is to make you make the decision to take yourself out. They want to make your surroundings so bad and so horrible, right, that you will be succumbed by it, and that now you will be ready to just give it up and say, forget it, make bad moves, start trying to hurt people, start trying to hurt yourself, start to lose faith in God, which is what they know your true power is. If you don't have the rock, which is Christ, if you ain't standing on that faith, you will fall for everything. You will fall for every stimuli, for every misrepresentation of what's really happening in reality. You will fall for it. The world needs to wake up now. The world needs to wake up now to the truth of what's really going on here. These gang stalkers want you to die, but they want you to create your own scenario. But they also are governed by spiritual laws and rules. There's rules in the spiritual realm. Let's talk about that. The rules in the spiritual realm is as such. The Most High God, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is in control. His word is in control of everything. His word, whatever his word says, is what is. But the person has to get to the place to start believing in that word and start speaking that word into existence. The Most High God created everything in existence by his word. So when you operate in the faith of the Most High Yah, then you are going to have that power to overcome the darts of the enemy. The Most High Yah says that I have given you power to tread over serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and no harm shall come to you. Do you honestly think that that's true? Or are you acting like you believe it's true? Do you know the power we have? We have power to where we don't have to throw a punch. We don't have to get back at somebody with some sort of words to make them feel a certain way. All we have to do is stand on the rock and on the faith of Christ. That's all we have to do as people, is do that. I see you, Donna. That's all we have to do. So I'm going to bring Donna in. Donna, blessings to you. How you doing?
Blessings.
All right, Donna. So, hey, tell us about who you are. What's going on?
I'm probably one of the oldest and heaviest targeted people you've ever met. I am not lying. I'm about to go into federal court, and it's mostly the city, and they got caught filing a false report of arson a few years ago. They got caught lying right on the paper. I was on camera the whole time. No fire department was called. They file paperwork behind your back and you don't even know it. I just recently got another one when I left the cell phone store, and they claimed that I opened my car door. I was mad and hit the car. It's not true at all. The guy was just mad because I told him off. He ripped me off. But I am heavily targeted in Lakeland, Florida. I knew the lieutenant from the sheriff's office, and he was a son-in-law of my best friend, and the whole thing got exposed at that point, and I realized what was going on my whole time I came to Florida and going all the way back. So I caught the wife on my phone. I got her really mad until she exposed. She texted right over my texting and went straight to my email, and I'm going to go into federal court. I got all my paperwork, and I'm going into federal court with it all. It's massive. It's hard to pull together, but I'm doing it regardless because of all that they've done to me. I have been hit 10 times by speeding cars. A lot of people don't believe that, but it's true. It's amazing. I've had a dozen surgeries, and only God goes with me. Believe me, all the way.
Donna, the reason why I blocked you I did block you for 5 minutes is because on this channel, when it comes to the comment section, this is a place where people need to also experience the hope and understand that, yeah, we go through this thing, but what are you actually doing in order to try to get yourself out of these waters? So I would ask you even that right now. You said that you have a faith in God. Like, what does it look like to you, to your power source? What do you do when you're being targeted, when you are being overcome or overwhelmed by these forces that are around you, trying to get you to fall, trying to manipulate you? What do you do?
Well, of course, I do spiritual warfare, and I do a lot of praying. I also carry cameras. I have to because I've been assaulted.
Say it again.
I carry a camera at all times. I have
Oh.
2 on me right here. I carry it right there. I have 2 of them, 2 GoPros at all times, because I never know when someone will throw something at me, try to run me over. I've been hit in the back, you know.
Can I ask you, when did you first acknowledge your targeting starting?
Well, when I entered the state of Florida, I got my first apartment, and this guy moved in next door, and within 3 weeks, I walked in. I was normally at work, and I turned around and came back. Emergency. I came back, and I walked in, and he climbed through the attic vent with a tow truck chain tied to the main beam, and he was in my closet. We cornered him in the closet, and I realized, and he had a whole bunch of wire on the kitchen table, which means he was going to wire up the apartment. So,
okay, let me ask you this. Can you tell us, like, what type of background you have, like, before that happened, as far as your spiritual background? Were you ever involved in any fellowships or any, like, you know what I'm getting at? Any brother or sisterhoods? Were you ever involved? And I'm not saying that you are involved in any of that, but I'm trying to find the root of where these things possibly could have started, because not all targeted individuals have those experiences. But if that is a possibility, this could be a reason for some of your targeting, right? So I just want to know what's your sort of background when it comes to, like, spiritual things.
My brother married a family. She was a witch, and her family was Satan worshipers. Of course, I didn't know it until way later on. And my other sister-in-law, my husband's sister, was involved in Satan worship, as they kept it very quiet for me because I always went to church. So that was all around me, and that's one thing. There was a lot. There was a lot around me. When I got married, my in-laws, there was mafia on the left side of his family. When I got married, I didn't realize any of this and didn't know any of this. I was kept out of the loop. I was kept out of all the loops.
Now, let me ask you a question. So before, so you come from a background at an early age of being around people that were serving Satan, correct?
Yes.
Now, did you ever make any proclamations or any covenants with Satan?
Never. No, absolutely not. No.
So here's the thing. From what I believe is that when you're around, or when a person is around those influences, those people can actually try to bring you into a covenant by making an omission or making some sort of verbal expression to the fallen one to try to get something out of this world. Basically, they sacrifice their children or their loved ones in order to achieve this whole different status of life or whatever they're looking for. So even those that are unwilling subjects can become subject to the satanic kingdom. And now, I want to preface, that's not the only reason why a person would be a target individual, because many of us have not had that experience. But that is one of the most noticeable, you would say, things that you can look back and say, okay, well, a lot of people were influenced by that kingdom at an early age. And so what I would say is this, since you know that that's the case, do you think that your targeting has increased? Because, like, maybe if you sin, maybe if if you sin or not, since you have a connection with God, when you
No,
sin,
I
like your
found
targeting
no.
increases.
No, I found that you have to stay out of sin. That's your only that is
Why?
your
Why
main,
would you say that? Why would you say that?
because they have nothing to use against you and grasp onto. And they become even more angry though when you're not. They really want something, and they work at anything to get on you. Yes, I do see that very clearly.
Oh, okay. Oh, that you just brought that out. That was very important. This is a person that said that she had a background, not her personal background, but of satanic worship in her family. And so you know that those spirits were always attacking her. And because of that, she is now possibly going through things based off of maybe covenants that she was put in from other people that made her sort of like maybe wanting to make her somebody that was a sacrifice, maybe not physically or by the life, but like maybe so that they can influence the sacrifice's life, so that maybe now that spirit would follow this person based off of some omission or some covenant that someone else in her family made. So we just heard from Donna that when you sin, your targeting will increase because those spirits do not agree with you walking in the light. So when you walk in Christ or you walk in Most High Yah, then you will have those spirits angry at you, and they will come against you because they know that their only way to get you is to take away your light or your relationship with Christ. Donna, I want to ask you another thing. So do you believe that there are people out there, targets or perps out there that are not just normal people? Do you think that they are possibly fallen angels, maybe that are morphed, that look like they're natural human beings, but they're actually fallen angels?
Absolutely, yeah, I do. They're
What would you have to
heartless.
say
They
on
have
that?
they're heartless. Excuse me?
But are they fallen angels, you think, though?
I believe that we have the arriving the old ones, the old ancient ones. Yes, I do. I believe that we're in the end days. Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you would like to say to somebody that thinks that the target individual experience is only physical?
Only visible?
No. Is there anything that you would like to say to somebody that's a target individual that would say it's only physical, that this is only a physical experience that we're dealing with? You know, like with devices and things we can kind of see and hold. What would you tell them?
I believe that there are many layers to this, many, many layers. And they're using many layers. And it's vast. I really believe that because I have seen many layers. I literally have documented proof that I was medically experimented on. I have all documented proof. I have all documents of all that I say. I can show you literal documents. They removed they told me in 2009 that the MRI came back lymphoma. The local cancer center, Dr. Chan, a foreign doctor, came in and said I have to go in and get biopsies. She ended up gutting me like a cow. I was out of the hospital a week. I did notice she acted weird. Came in and said no cancer because the object was cancer search. There was no cancer, and I went back to work. I had no idea until I had an accident in 2013, and now I had gone 4 years of medical, and I saw my X-ray, and it said linear metallic density overlapping the abdomen, no spleen, whereas the operative report said biopsy. So I had a backup MRI and a PET scan. PET scan said it was surgically resection and removed my spleen, and the gold threading is known as internal acupuncture in Korea, where Dr. Chan returned to right after that. So it's quite interesting. I ended up a scientist that sent me off the internet years later, all the documentation on the researches that they did during that time.
So, target individuals, you guys have just heard. Now, I'm no medical doctor, and I'm not going to tell you anything, give you no medical advice. But let's just speak to what it really is. There are people that are in these positions of power that we know have these abilities to maybe prescribe things or do surgeries, and if they know, and I would just say that it's a big business, it's an industry, but it's more than that. If they know who you are, if they know that you are somebody that has been seeking information about what's actually going on in the world, about leaders of the world, about why they make the decisions they make, about the whole government system. If they know that you are somebody that's serving the Most High God, if they know that you're somebody that has influence to speak in other people's lives and influence them and actually cause them to go in another direction, they will now try to take you out any way they can, or cause you to take yourself out. Now, a lot of the times people go to these places of trying to, I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm on YouTube. These places where you go to get help for your physical ailments, basically, they will purposely do things, possibly, to try to make your outcome not what you would like. We're not just normal people, because we come against the grain, and these people are paid to keep the status quo. And this is not just your leaders, it's not just your officials, or it's not even just people in the media. It's people that are actually working at these places we go to and visit frequently, that are out to make sure that either we fall in line or they could possibly maybe take us out. This is the world we live in, and you got to wake up. If you don't have Christ, it's Christ. You know what I'm gonna tell you on this channel? It's Christ. I don't care about any of the strategies. Donna, thank you for coming on. You are welcome back. I'm sorry for putting you in timeout. I'm glad we got to chop it up. I know a little bit more. And blessings to you. I pray that the Most High will work everything out in your life, that He will give you the strength and the power to be able to make it through this. He'll put His hedge of protection around you. I pray that for you, okay? So come back anytime, okay? All right. Not Jess, are you there?
Hello.
All right, Shalom, not Jess. What would you like to talk about?
I'm just here to help the community, just talk a little, I don't know, just help the community and stuff,
So let me ask you a question. So when did your targeting begin, and when did you notice it? Like, how did you what was like pretty much going on with you when your targeting began?
I just moved out from my mother's. I went to my father's. I was 17, 18. And I was in a pretty tough school. It's a lot of gang members, some crack dealers, all that. But yeah, so
did you before this happened to you, where you recognized the darkness that was pretty much around you and you noticed things weren't right in your reality, what did you used to do in what was your life like? Were you somebody that were involved in any organized gangs? Were you somebody that used substances? Were you somebody that had a spiritual connection with maybe new age type of doctrines? You know what I'm talking about. Was that part of your story?
Well, I'll try and tell you this stuff because I just like to help the community, and I think everybody should talk more. Like now, I'm not ready to talk about everything, but when I was younger, I'll try and talk as much as I can. When I was younger, I was with my mother. I was in a pretty white neighborhood, and we did have a little kids gang, nothing serious.
Okay. All right. So do you think that influenced you or affected you?
When I was younger, I was pretty much carefree. I was, my mother didn't raise me to be, like inside all the time. She wasn't that strict, so I just, I was a normal kid from the X generation X.
So when did it all start to kind of go turn in another direction? When you start to notice this stuff?
Um, it started when I was a kid, but the spiritual side started when I was 20. That demonic stuff and all that.
Oh, okay. Would you want to elaborate on that?
Like you probably, I don't know what you think it is, but I think it's mind control.
Okay. No, it
Government, maybe government. I don't know.
mind control. Okay. Well, like what I would say is, whenever, since this is a spiritual and physical program, or situation we deal with, whenever you are influenced by a force that is outside of yourself, either it be good or or either not outside completely, most hides inside, but if you're dealing with forces, then this is going to influence your mind. So your mind will now be altered based off of the spiritual influence you have in your life. And so if it's if, you didn't go into it, but if it's a satanic influence, then you are opening up yourself to become a portal for demonic spirits to come in. And when those spirits come in, unless you cast them out, you will now be underneath their control. And so then the spirits that are in other people that are going to that imperps people that are not that are for are not against that are against you. These spirits in them are the same spirits that a person would have if they have a satanic influence or if they've been influenced by Satanism. So now that's the reason why they can attach themselves to a person that has had that background. And that's the hidden thing. People don't want to talk about spirits because we were taught to believe it was fairy tale. We were taught to believe it was like a movie. These things don't exist, but they're telling us in their movies all the time that these things do in fact exist. But to keep us blind, to keep us walking in this dream, so to speak, where everything these images and all of these perceptions and all of these narratives that they try to present to us, they try to make us believe that that's real when we're basically living in some sort of matrix where it's all inorganic, it's synthetic, it's put there on for a reason. But back to what are you doing now, man, to kind of help yourself in this situation? What are you doing now?
I'm in college. I do music, but if what you were saying about our lives being in danger, if in fact this is, you know, a government program, they probably do have Manchurian candidates or something,
Yeah, splinter cells.
walking around, and or even deeper within the mind control, just you know, with wherever they are, and they could actually, I think they could actually attack us because
Well, hold on. Let's stop right there. The reason why I stopped you, and I'll let you elaborate, and this will be short. Uh, the spirit that's in them is of the fallen one. The Bible says that the Most High Yah he has power over every principality and every power. Now it's about what your faith is. Are you going to believe that, have that steady faith that does not shake, or are you going to allow the fact that these people, these horrible people that have this whatever spirit in them, which is from the fallen one, are you going to allow that to take precedence over your mind? Because then that breeds fear. Spirit of fear is not of the Most High Yah. It's all about like the chair experience where you sit in a chair and you trust that person to catch you. And in the process of falling back and that person has to catch you, there's a newness to it. It's an uncertainty. The uncertainty is that am I going to fall or not? Will this person catch me? What I'm telling you what faith is, and this is what the Satanists know. Faith is an absence of unbelief. When you have an absence of unbelief, you can operate in the spirit of power, whether it be evil or good. So when you are operating in the spirit of faith in of Christ, he's the one that's the lover of your soul. He's the one that has all power over every principality and power. He's the one that died for us. He's the one that says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. He's the one that says, I will, those that he says, be not afraid of the vast army, for the battle's not yours, it's mine. Do you believe that? Because if you do believe that, guess what? In the spiritual realm, if you could see it, you would see something so amazing that it would completely change your mind about everything you ever knew. You would see his holy angels fighting these demonic forces. You would see his holy angels defeating these demonic forces all around us, trying to cause that Manchurian candidate, trying to cause that person that's a splinter cell that's just waiting for a signal that he's getting from his handlers to cause him to flip out and do something evil. When you please the Lord, guess what he says? He says, when you please the Lord, even your enemies shall be at peace with you. Now, if this is his word, if you please the Lord, even by obeying his commandments and turning to him and giving and renouncing Satan and all of his ways, and even though you may fail and make mistakes, you turn to the Most High God and tell him to take it away from you, and then tell him to come into your life and turn to him and believe that he came and died and asked him to put that faith in you. He is now going to see you because he's God. He's the power. He's the one that sees everywhere. In heaven, they have his cherubs. And there's these eyes that are all, I'm not talking about no satanic stuff here, guys. Read the Bible. There's eyes that are all around the cherub, all on the body of the cherub. Basically, the eyes of the Lord that can see everything, that know everything. So when you do make these, we speak to the Lord, Yahushua, the Most High, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When you speak to him, he knows. He knows every part of your thought process. He knows the ins, the outs. He knows everything. So basically, when you allow him in, now you got protection. Now, regardless of what you might thought about the power the enemy had in this world to do this, that, he has to answer to the Most High Yah. He can't do anything to us unless the Most High Yah allows him. And the Most High Yah, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is for us. He's the light. He says, I'm the lover of your soul. Know who the one is that got the power. Now, the fallen one will have power if you allow the fallen one to have power. That's the trick. That's the key. And they know a lot of people. That's why they made the society as evil and satanic as it is, to make you believe that the power was Satan. And because now his spirit can operate freely in the world and influence and torment people, because they live under the power of Satan. They operate in his power. So, of course, like I told you before, that spirit that's now connected in you, if you are living in evil, if you are basically following all the agendas and all the narratives and all the mindsets of the world and living as the world, that spirit that's of Satan will be in you, attracted to you, and not have power over you. So now your mind is going to start to see him produce these things in your reality that are not right, that are not of God. But see, the thing is, he can only do it because that's what you have put in you. That's what you've allowed around you. Or you maybe did not allow it or want it to be in your life, but someone else did it.
All right, that was just like, I was just watching that movie MK Ultra, so that's where that came from. Like,
yeah. So hey, thank you so much. Not just hey man, anytime you want to come on and share. Thank you for being brave and talking about this. You said you didn't want to share some things, but for what you did share, it was a blessing to hear it. Please come on anytime you'd like. Let other people know that you think will benefit from hearing these conversations. And hey, man, blessings to you. Okay.
all right, man.
All right. So guys, yeah. So that was once again. Let me read what 1-0 said. Satan has no power. He only wants your reaction and attention. Very simp like loserish. Demons is actually a personality trait. No one has ever seen a demon nor someone been possessed. Okay, now let's break this down. So first you said Satan has no power, right? Then you said he only wants your reaction and attention. Okay, so does Satan only want your reaction and your attention, right? Satan wants you to agree with him. So he wants you to agree with what he's presenting to you. Just like when Christ went on top of the mountain and Christ was being tempted by Satan for 40 days, right? When he hadn't eaten, right? And so basically he kept telling Christ, oh, if you're the Son of God, then dash your, jump off of this cliff or whatever, and your angels will hold you back up and you will be fine. Basically, you're the Son of God. If you're the Son of God, why don't you turn this bread into this stone and stones into bread, right? So he's basically trying to mock the Most High God, trying to make him question who he was, trying to make him believe a lie. He's trying to create his reality, trying to be in control of Christ. He's trying to be in control of Christ's reality by trying to make him believe that, oh, these are suggestions I'm giving you. Follow these suggestions. Oh, you are the Son of God, so basically it's not going to affect you. What do you think gang stalkers do? What do you think these perps do that have these demonic spirits? They are suggesting things to you. Oh, here's a noise campaign. Okay. These people are out here making a fool out of themselves. I'm not calling them fools. I don't call nobody foolish because we're not supposed to do that. But they're presenting these things to you that's not right. That's not organic. They're actors, right? Speeding by your house, making all these noises, maybe on the wall. I'm not saying that for anybody here, myself, or none of that. I'm just saying this is what the experiences are like. And then they want you to agree with what they're doing. What that looks like is you get afraid. Now you start to say, oh, well, these people are out to hurt you. You say these people are out to do this to you, this to you, this to you. What do you think that breeds? It breeds a spirit of fear. The spirit of fear is not of God. So now you're operating in a spirit of fear. And so they have shaped and created your reality. It's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. This is what they want to do. And yes, demons are real and people become possessed. Thank you so much, Deborah Jackson. Now, I know what you're saying, Ja. I know what you're saying, Ja Angel. But here's the thing. People can be possessed if they don't have the spirit of the Most High in them. If they have not been called by the Most High Yah, and if they are not his people, basically those that he's working with, those that he's bringing to his fold, those that have a relationship, you can be possessed. You can be. I'm not saying you will be. I'm saying you can be. And the enemy knows what your faith is. Let me say that again. The enemy and his spirits and his demons, his fallen angels, his demonic spirits, right? Because a fallen angel is not a demonic spirit. A fallen angel is different from a demonic spirit. The demonic spirit is from the Nephilim. The Nephilim had sex with women when they were back in the time of the antediluvian age from Noah. And they went into women and had sex. And when they died, when the flood came, then their spirit, or when they died just some other way, when they killed, because they killed, there was like, if you ever heard of the movie The Titans, remember the Titans? The Titans were these giants. The satanic elite, they tell you these things in their movies. The Titans were a movie about the giants when they start to fight each other. And during the time of Noah, antediluvian age. And so when they killed each other, their spirit didn't go to heaven. It didn't go to where God was. It didn't go back to the heavens. It didn't go down to the bosom of Abraham or to hell or Sheol, right? Their spirits roam on the earth. Their spirits roam on the earth now. Okay? Now, their spirits now roam on the earth so they can possess people that open themselves up and become conduits for demonic spirits by doing new age worships, kundalini, opening their third eye, ancestral worship, playing with tarot cards, doing what else? What other satanic principle that they got? Astral worship, leaving their bodies so that they can come and dwell in the places of other people without them knowing. I mean, these people are completely misguided, completely deceived, right? So then they can become possessed. People do become possessed, and demons are on the earth. And also the fallen angels. If you don't know anything about the Bible, it talks about the Euphrates River. Go check out the Euphrates River. The Euphrates River is something where it's dried up. And it says in Revelations, I said this before, 9:11-15, how the sixth trumpet's going to be blown. Before in that passage, somewhere in that passage, I don't have it right now. It says when the Euphrates River dries up, then there's going to be angels. These angels that are going to be released from the Euphrates. These fallen angels that were put there back when they got the Most High God put them down there for mating when having sex with women. There were some that went down in that Euphrates. Now in the last days, which is now, he's releasing it and loosing it. right? Also, yes. Now let's go through this. Let me see. Voice probably she likes to. Okay, so you said you learned from the master's voice prophecy. She talks a lot of end time stuff, visions God gives her. She sees she's legit. Tantra to the due to. Okay. I don't know where that's going. But you're talking about yoga. Okay, yoga. That's a satanic principle. That is basically a satanic it's not even an exercise. It's spiritual worship. It's inviting deities into your body. This is like in one of those ancient Eastern European or maybe Eastern Asian or maybe no Eastern Indian practices, Eastern Indian practice, where it's actually allowing demonic forces into you. I've had a video that I tried to show before. I don't think I have it up here, but when you do those poses in those positions, you are basically posing in a way that is inviting a specific deity to come into you. To make it, see, yoga, they want you to have a mindset where it's like a like nothingness or the absence of kind of I'm gonna let me come back to that. I don't want to say anything that I'm not completely sure on, but it's just basically a practice that allows deities to come into you, and each position has a purpose. Each position you use in yoga has a purpose. So when people do that stuff around me and it says exercise, I just can't believe it. They don't do their study. They just think it's just like, you go to the gym and you learn how to do push-ups or sit-ups. These are not push-ups or sit-ups. These are purposed in these last days to cause demonic entities to come in you. You are agreeing with a force that's of Satan when you do yoga. Yeah, I know. It seems like it's just so, oh, come on, Judah J. It's just exercise. It's just, no, it's not. It's not. Let me see this. Eager for Jesus, return. Yoga, Hinduism, mysticism. Each pose is worship to a yoga god, see, which will eventually get someone engaging into it. That will get someone engaging in it to become oppressed, then become possessed by the devil. All right. So it's Hindu mysticism. Hindu mysticism. Okay. Let me read some more of these comments. I was referring to the above subs of card tarot readers. You were referring to the above subs of card readers. You don't knock it completely, but you listen to y'all's perfect conviction and discernment. Okay, now here, check this out. 1-0. You are able to believe in whatever things that, whatever you want. Not to say that I believe in anything that you've said at all, but I believe that everybody has the right to make their own decisions. Christ, he didn't make the people follow him. He didn't make all those people that followed him when he was walking and he was doing these miracles and he was doing his teachings. He didn't make them come. He basically just did his thing and they came. So people come to this channel. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is a target individual channel. Yes, you know that Judah J is an Israelite. You know that I believe in Christ. He's my savior. He's my God. And that's it. Right. But I know other people don't have that. So I might be the only person that will present this other side to them. And I'm not going to say anything else other than that. I like the fact that people come into this room and they may be using crystals. They may be doing tarot cards. I bind those demonic spirits. Any evil that seeks to come against me, you know who my God is. And as I am walking righteously with my God, and nobody's perfect, but you know, those that have any spirits with you or familiar spirits or any monitoring spirits or any warring spirit, any of that, when a person prays, the rules. There's rules to this, regardless of what. There's rules. So that's why I cover myself with his protection, his hedge of protection, his blood. So that when I'm around these people, individuals that might have a different belief than me, of course, like I told every one of you, hey, let me put you in here. Like I told every one of you, and I'm about to come to you in just a second, 1-0. I told every one of you from the very beginning of this little live thing that I do, I don't trust none of you, but I love you.
Hey, Judah.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't trust none of you. And guess what? Because of our experience and how crazy it's been, why would you trust anybody? You come to these places and you listen to our strength, you listen to our hope, you listen to our experiences, you listen to these things, right? And you take what you want, you chew the meat, you spit out the bones, right? You're not trying to be here trying to make somebody believe what you believe. We're not here to try to do that. This is not no church, nothing like that, where you got to believe in what we believe in. We are basically people that say we are target individuals and that we share commonality and we want to get help for it. So if you come in here, that's what you can expect. I'm not trying to do nothing else here, right? Because regardless, there's going to be some people that try to tell you, oh, you're not a target individual. Or they're going to say, oh, look what they said there. They coughed right there. So they looked up he looked up at what's that? At the 12:32 mark of the video. And why did he do that? See, that means he's not a target. Man, see, we deal with that. You know why?
Yeah.
Because that's our experience. We have gone through people putting them signs out there, doing these weird little movements and doing the stuff. We are like completely. We have been through. So I understand. Anyways, 1-0. Blessings to you, man. How you doing?
How you guys doing? Good evening. Yeah,
Blessings.
I had a touching on that subject. I had a close boy. He's a TI too, and we did a live, and I guess, I had bad hair. I had been at home all day, and I was kind of like fixing my hair because I wanted to show him my face, to have that person. I wanted to show face, you know what I mean? And he tripped out later. He said he made a video about like how I was probably trying to curse him and with the Hanson signs and stuff like that. I was literally just like combing through my hair with my hands, bro. But I understand it's crazy, you know what I mean? Because we're traumatized in a lot of ways. So.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, at least you see, you understand. I mean,
No, I do.
When you've been presented with certain things all the time, then what do you think?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just natural, right?
Yep.
So, hey, so I would like to know. So can you tell us, like, when your targeting experience happened? Like, when did you start to notice it happening? Are you a target individual for one? So
I am. Yeah, I definitely
when did
am.
you notice it happening?
So I think like end of 2011 or something like that. It was like overnight, which I'm sure a lot of us, I mean, we're just like living our little life, just going through our journey, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, you feel everything's just weird, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was overnight. So it's like, people can't tell us like we're crazy, bro. People don't go crazy from one day to the next, you know what I mean?
So what's your spiritual background?
My spiritual background. So my parents were, Pentecostal and stuff like that. When I was little, I was super guarded, so guarded that, when I was able to escape my house, my parents, like I got my own car, had a job and stuff like that. I was just like, let's explore the world type of thing. You know what I mean? Because it was bad, bro. So there has to be some kind of balance in your life. You know what I mean? My parents they meant well. They loved us, but they didn't have the proper structure, I guess,
So what would you say your spiritual background was, though?
Christian.
You were Christian.
Yeah.
Now, as time went along,
Mhm.
was Christianity sort of something maybe you turned against because of the way other people presented it to you?
So, I mean, we tend to forget, I think, even I do, we know the beginning stages of this thing. I remember sometimes it was so intense, and I just, you have no peace of mind. You have no peace in your body. You just can't relax at all. I remember just not damning or cussing or anything like that to God, but I was just like, dude, I'm done with you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if these
what
are,
made you come to that mindset that you're done with them? What was going on that made you want to?
I was just not spiritually adept or strong enough, to understand what was going on, and I was being prepared for a duty to this war. I mean,
Hold on. Do you mind telling us, like we said, you weren't prepared for what was going on? Like, what was that? If you don't mind, like, what was you being prepared for? Like, what was you upset at God about?
for sure. So I mean, I literally felt like a puppy thrown in a shark's tank here when this started, bro. Like I was so like it hit me out of fucking I'm sorry for my language, but it hit me out of nowhere, man, which I think a lot of it hit us the same. But now I understand that um so this is my thing, right? This is my stance against this. um a lot of people tell you to shield, to pray 6 hours a day and all, and I'm not knocking any of that. If that helps you and gives you some kind of peace and something over these things, or you can leverage with them, then that's great. More power to you. But my stance is more like, we have to rewire our brain. And I've learned that a lot of things that we've learned since we came out of our mom's womb is wrong.
How do you rewire your brain?
So how we rewire our brain?
How do you rewire your brain?
Okay, so I don't know how it is for you guys, but I have episodes, or like they have broadcasts, and they're like, okay, there's a thing going on now, and you can feel it. You know what I mean? You can feel people who are experimenting in some sense, like in the third person type of way. They're experimenting what you are, and the triggers and the plays and all that. So what I did, because I used to rage a lot, I used to curse at them and just fight them all the time. So what you need to do is literally what the word says. It says, be still and be quiet. You gotta quiet your heart, your soul. So when you do that, and the more these things talk and you can understand what they're doing, then you start to figure out how the game is played. You know what I mean?
Hold on. First, before you go on,
yeah.
The word says, "Be still and know that I'm God." It doesn't
Yes,
say
sir.
"Be still and be quiet." But go ahead.
Oh, so I was mixing another verse there from David, where he says, why are you anxious? Why are you dreaded inside of me, oh heart of mine? So I'm just referring to the fact that we need to be still and be silent, and because raging and negativity and cussing and all that never got me anywhere. It would progress to worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is? Like that's interesting. You just said that. I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, for sure.
When you rage and when you are responding to the stimuli that you are receiving from the demonic forces,
Right.
you are now doing what? What's going on with your target experience when you do that?
Well, the raging and being angry and fighting back is a flight or flight type of instinct. It's a caveman mentality, and you don't add any solutions, any resolutions, any you don't better the situation at all when you're negative towards these things. Nowadays I can be negative towards them, but it's very strategic, everything I do, how I fight them in my mind, in my heart, how I carry myself. So everything we do now, absolutely everything matters. You know what I mean?
So when you say that you can be negative against them,
Mm-hmm.
is this like your protection, like your defense
Exactly.
mechanism?
Yes.
What does it look like?
Sir.
What does that look like? What do you do?
So basically what I was getting at, one day I was quiet, and the more you listen, the more you hear them, the more you understand what they're doing. So what they're doing when they're attacking you really badly, if I may, and this is my experience, what I experience is there's about maybe 4 or 5 people that are, like, I call these beings the dungeon dwellers, and these are assigned to us for the rest of our life. These are the
Okay, now
ones that.
once again, hold on.
Mhm. Sure.
I'm not trying to stop you, but listen.
No, you're good.
When you say words like "they're assigned to us,"
Mhm.
please keep it to yourself, because what that is
To myself.
hold on. A lot of times we're not aware that when you speak
Yeah.
these words, you speak them into existence, and if you say "us," you're
For sure.
blanketing everyone with that same thing. So this is basically what you believe in for yourself. So just
You're
make sure
absolutely
you
right.
okay. Thank you.
For sure. So that's what I figured for myself, that these things are assigned to me. Like, I mean, Christmas. They're not taking Christmas off. They're not taking birthdays. They don't sneeze. They don't cough. If you really pay attention, I don't know if you get B2K, but if you notice these things, they don't have like those little flaws that humans do. They act and have characteristics, and they even intentionally are flawed and unintelligent to assimilate a human. So these are like the four. There's like two males, two male characters and two women characters that are signed to me for the rest of my life, right? So these are the ones that.
Okay, now who no,
Mhm.
hold on. You're saying a lot of things, and I'm gonna have
Sure.
first of all, you said V2K. Now,
Yeah.
V2K, now that's basically there's a part of your brain that's turned off so that you cannot be able to sense God. You'll be able to not have the same sensibilities or faith. They want to take the faith away. So they've
Yes.
created devices that are V2K, which is able to turn off a certain center of the brain. I forgot if it was the frontal lobe or whatever,
Right.
or maybe the limbic part. And so then you can't sense God anymore. Now, when you said that this is a flaw. So
Well,
can you speak
that's
more on that?
that's not necessarily true in my case, because I do feel God, and I have. I'll get to that too.
Okay.
So then basically these few
After we get done with
these few entities or whatever they are, they're the ones that entice and get appeased by the flying monkeys. So the flying monkeys, in my case, and what I believe, are like crisis actors. So these people don't really have a background. They're probably foster kids, like FEMA. They're the crisis actors. They move from city to city, and they're literally your neighbors. So they are in cahoots with maybe government officials. There's the four entities that run the whole show, and then you have the flying monkeys. So that whole thing
So what do you believe these four entities that what do you believe these who do you believe these four entities are?
they're either demons or AI or a mixture of both.
And they're
Um,
actually controlling the government.
they are
You,
they are actually controlling the government because our government is so so foolish and so ignorant that they believe that Satan has more power than God and is better than God, which is absolutely erroneous because we can see the results of all this. It's chaotic. Everything's collapsing all around us. Every day it just gets weirder out here. Anyway, so those four entities in the say in a given city or following an individual, right, like me, they're the ones that create this chaos, and now they have harp and all these so what they've done is they're
oh, sorry, hold
ionized.
on 1 second. Ja Angel, you're out of here, man. That's not how we get down here. I don't know what you're talking about here. I wasn't thinking about looking at what you're saying, but you can't put stuff like that on here. So you're gone. All right, keep going. 1-0.
So all the stuff that they've been spraying in the air, they ionize the air, kind of like your TV screens or your telephone screens, where there's a little bit of dust inside our screens here, and that little dust ionizes. So what they can do is they can use now the um what's it called, the microwave weapons and stuff like that, to direct them however they want.
Does that dust have graphene in it?
It does have graphene, and what they do, Judah, is the graphene is mostly targeted towards your ear. So I don't know if you guys, most people clean their ears and we use Q-tip or whatever. And when, we got to scratch, we scratch or whatever. But if you've never done a deep cleansing of your ears, you can go in there and scratch the floor of uh, the entry canal, and you can feel graphene in there. So that graphene is like super glued to your skin, and you're gonna have to scrape the heck out of it, man. It takes a good 2 days to like scrape it off, and then you'll notice as time goes. I don't know if you guys get like dry marks on your T zone, and then like just flakes on your ear. I keep lotion and stuff like that for situations like that, but you know, um, the graphene settles in your ear, and then the laser can find that graphene because there's like a connection with it.
So you're so that's just that's hey, I've heard about that. I saw a video on that, how the guy scraped the thing out, and when he put it on the table, it was actually magnetic.
And
So
it's not
actually
nasty. It's not like dirt or oil or anything like that. It's like clear. It doesn't smell. It's literally like super glue. So it's weird, but
but
it has a signal with the laser towards the laser. So these lasers and not lasers, they're like microwave. So the tinnitus and all that crap, they're beaming like 3 or 4 messages into our head 24/7. That's
once
why a lot
again,
of us
say you.
To me,
All right.
you know, and this is like a loop message, you know, something vile maybe, or something derogatory, or something defeating, self-defeating, or something like that. And then what they do, Judah, to me, is like, I noticed that these 4 or 5 so the 4 entities plus the flying monkeys. The flying monkeys have probably done witchcraft. They're probably chipped, or they have some kind of technology that's maybe ingenious and simple, that they can react. Like, you know, when I'm in bed and they're triggering me, sometimes I can hear my neighbor reacting to the triggers, right, and laughing and stuff like that. So it's really obvious, right? So what they do is, like, one person will say, uh, a lot of times they'll use a noise, like a click, like, but it's very subtle. It's very subtle, very quiet, or a swish of the mouth. They'll go like that or whatever. They'll swish their mouth around,
like an ASMR type thing.
And then you'll attach that to a trigger that they've been hypnotizing and sensitizing us to, or me to. And then then you think about it, and then you think about, they'll tell you a word or something like that, then you think about that, then your body responds to it negatively, then it systemizes in your chest, in my chest, or in the chest area, and then you feel guilty, and then they accuse you of that. So it's a repeat play of that linguistic type of witchcraft torture.
Okay, so check this out. Basically, I just want to clear this thing up once again. So the people
sure.
that are actually these flying monkeys, which is another name that's given to people that are homeless, and they're a lot of times they're young, like you said. If I'm wrong, just let me know. A lot of them are homeless and they're younger, and you see them littered like on the streets, and they're taken in to be they're taken in to be, what's that? Pretty much programmed and tampered with by those that are in positions of power, or maybe even these demons or people in power, right? And these people are actually able to send frequencies or send certain signals to targets, is what you're saying?
Yep. And so what happens?
Are these the people that live by you, that live live, like, you know, when targets say, oh, well, there's somebody on the side or on the top or wherever they're at, and they're making noises, or that's who you're talking about?
So the thing with me, Judah, it's gotten to the point where they're so desperate, right? They're beyond desperate. And it's just been the revolving doors with these flying monkeys. And they always set up like the loud one, you know, the obnoxious one, this one. They play the same role.
So these are the people that don't live, like, once again,
near you. Yes.
Okay.
So now it's gotten so blatant, because they want me to know that they're out there. But it's like, when you go outside, it's like they don't even look at you. They go back inside. They're chilling. You know what I mean? So they play that whole thing. I do want to state, though, that in my case, I found out that, so this whole system, it's weird because it makes you enemy, or you think that the whole city or your whole town is your enemy, and they're in on it. And then in turn, they think that you're volatile, that you're dangerous, and blah, blah, blah. when
Have they,
when
so they've been told, no, keep that thought. They've been told something about the target, right?
Mm, yes, but it's very vague. So they want you to expose yourself in a negative, in a false way, you know? So once you start understanding, Judah, that it's not the whole city, or once I started understanding, and I was like, no, there's moms out there and families that are just working their butts off, and they want to get by, and they want to raise their kids, and they're just doing good, you know. They go to church. I know these people, you know, or I kind of know them, and I can feel their heart vibrations, you know, when people are being honest. So it's a little bit of people in each city that are driving everybody crazy, along with the HARP technology. So that's why sometimes when you're having when I'm having a bad episode, they try to make it like, you remember the Wizard of Oz? He would make it like rain and thunder and all this crap. They try to do it with me too, and like everybody's like, oh man, I'm feeling a little anxious today, or I didn't sleep good last night, and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, because and then they try to make everything like low vibrational, really negative.
So what I heard about HARP a long time ago was that HARP was just some sort of machine or whatever that fires pulses up into the atmosphere and destroys the atmosphere, and it can cause certain like earthquakes and sort of other weather natural anomalies, but also put like certain images, create images in the sky or wherever, because they put these chemtrails, they've littered the whole world with chemtrails. So now it's like, I guess it can be they can be actually turned into images, like make it into some sort of holographic screen. But I never knew that they HARP also had the ability to cause you to feel a certain way in your body. I thought that was
absolutely.
I thought that was like, you know, like we know about 5G and how 5G is kind of now being able to change the frequency and increase it and cause the electric component in our bodies to kind of basically be higher or less or just whatever. But I didn't know HARP was
uncomfortable. Tense up.
like the tingling and all. Keep going. And then God's child, I'm about to bring you in, so stay there.
Judah, have you seen the videos where they use sound to like shape water or like salt and stuff like
I've seen that. Yeah, I saw that.
So this is what we are, you know. In the beginning, the book says, you know, the Elohim gave he was the verb, right, and he said the word. So the whole universe is a frequency of sound. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, people feel good when you tell them something nice, you know, and they feel bad when you tell them something bad. So this is what they're doing. Like they've kind of figured out what these frequencies that make people feel crappy. They've done that, you know. That's why sometimes, like in your city, I've noticed in my city, like everybody's in a good mood, the sun is shining, everybody's happy, and then other days everybody's just down and like kind of like you know, like dragging their feet and stuff like that. So they can manipulate.
Oh, your sound went down 1-0. Hey, 1-0. I'm gonna actually mute you, and I'm gonna let you Judge Shaw. I'm having Judge Shaw come in. Hey, that was an excellent conversation, man. And I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. I didn't know where that conversation was going to go at the beginning, because you have some experiences that are, man, there are some very different type of experiences. But see, this is what I'm talking about. We need this type of information on this channel. Now, of course, if somebody like this guy in the comment section talking about Hail, that other one, Hail the Fallen One, saying all this evil stuff, I'm gonna get you out of here, because that's not the kind of channel this was. I love how 1-0 and me were able to talk about these things, these different conversations you normally wouldn't have. He's talking about the monkey people. He's talking about the 4 demons or 4 angels that are all, you know, he's talking about all these things. And I even prefaced him. I told, man, make sure you say I or you, not I, because you know, that could be witchcraft. And he said, you know what? And he turned it and said him. See, you see how you can have dialogue with people that you don't agree with, and you don't got to make them feel bad because they believe in whatever they believe in, right? He has the right. I got the right to believe in what we want to believe in. We're just here to share our experience on being targeted individuals, because no one wants to be a targeted individual, right? So we're here to help each other. All right, God's child, how you doing? God's child, are you there? 1 second here. So God's child, let me see if I can get her back. Just right there. Let me see. 1 second, guys. Are you there? Yeah, that was some really good insight. 1-0. So just to kind of elaborate, let me see if I got a video to show you guys or something real quick. Let me see. No video. 1 second. Hold on. Let me hold on. 1-0. I'm going to hey, you are more than welcome to come back on this channel anytime.
Yeah, I didn't finish my little experience, and I was about to wrap up, but we'll leave that for next time.
Yeah, man. Hey, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have whenever I was telling everybody else, whenever I have a live in the thumbnail, it'll just say "Let's talk" or something like "Let's talk." So that's when it's not going to just be a video. It's going to be a live discussion, and you're more than welcome to come on anytime you want. I thank you for the conversation. Thank you for sharing this information with the people, and blessings to you, man.
All love, brother. Thank you.
All love. All right. All right. So, hey, most definitely, that's what we need. Everybody, like, share, subscribe. If you are in this on this page right now at the live, you can like, share, and subscribe right now. Push the thumbs up. Push the bell notification, so that whenever I make a video, you will be able to see it. If you have time to see it, if you see it, boom, it's there for you. If I have a live and you have time to take part in the conversation, please come through. Make sure that you are an integral part of this channel, because I want to have conversations on here where we express and share what we've gone through as being targeted individuals and what we're actually doing to actually get through this experience. Because, hey, if you don't got other perspectives on this thing, rather than just always hearing about the one headlights and people are being noise campaigned and people are color coordination, if that's all you bring to the table, we've been hearing that. We know about that. What are you doing to get through this? What power are you operating in, right? I operate in the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in Yahushua HaMashiach's name, which people call Jesus, right? I read my word, the Bible, the lost books of the Bible. I praise and worship him. I pray to him, as you guys have seen. I engage in spiritual warfare, like the Most High Yah told us to, by saying his word, meditating on his word, right? What do you do? What do you do to make it through this horrific experience that most people could not even imagine having to go through? This is not natural, but it's something that the Most High God, like I said, is allowing us to go through in order to shape us and to mold us and to make us basically be people that can help others that are going to go through this. Because check this out, the whole world is a target individual now. I'm trying to tell you. Hold on 1 second. 1 second here. I got a little thing. Hold on. I got another comment here. Did you hear what 1-0 said? He said that this is also what I was kind of interested in when he said this also the stuff they put in your ear. There's something that is falling down from the atmosphere in the front. It's being funneled into the air, right? Into the sky. Of course, it's the chemtrails. That stuff is building up. It's falling on the population. What do you think? Where do you think that stuff is going? It's filled sorbate and nitrum sorbate or something like that. I think that's what it is. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. If anybody else knows exactly the correct pronunciation, sorbate, some sort of barium sorbate. It's also, you have graphene and other components, other metals in these chemtrails. When you see those planes that are not planes and they're flying and they're releasing all of these fumes, but then no plane is going to release that much fume and not have it dissipate. But you see the plane flying and it's not exhaust. Some people think that it's exhaust. Some people think that it's actually exhaust that is causing that ploof of smoke. It's not. It's a chemical trail that is purposed to enter into the body of the people, cause them to get sick, cause their bodies to be full of metal, cause their bodies to be completely inundated by outside things, right? That's going to taint and destroy us, that seeks to taint and destroy us, not going to, seeks to, right? Now we know that you can, like he said, 110 said you can put something in your ear, scrape the stuff that's in your ear. It's not just wax. Think about they're releasing the stuff. They're releasing it on the earth, that stuff in the air, and it goes in your body. It goes in the body. You can't even, I mean, there was a video that I saw where they had spider webs. There was like something that looked like spider webs that was hanging from the tree. Hanging from the tree. And it's like, what is that? It was all over the city. You can type on YouTube, spider webs, city, chemtrails, something like that. That stuff is all around. And then all of a sudden, it's like, you know, you don't think it's getting in the body or getting on the food, getting on the crops. And then you scrape inside your ear, you pull this stuff up, you put it on the table, and then you find out it looks like some, like 10 was saying, like a sticky type of substance, like a gummy type of substance. But actually, I also saw a video where it was actually magnetic, had a magnetic charge to it, so that you can actually, it's magnetized. Get a magnet, it'll kind of stick to it. So it has graphene in it. We also know that graphene is in something else that was, I'm not going to go into that, something else that was proposed and to the world, and people took it, and now you got stuff sticking on people's bodies because of this thing. But I'm not going to go through that because they don't want you to talk about any truth. Why do you think my channel has been taken off so many times? And somehow they were doing this weird thing a couple months ago. They were letting channels come back and then taking them off and then saying, oh, you have this video that had something that was said that wasn't correct, and so we're going to take that off and then say nothing about nothing. I wasn't even mentioning no words about nothing. I don't think I was talking about God. I was talking about the sin economy or something like that, about how the world is basically ran on a sin economy, and the people in the world, all of the world systems, all of them are structured to benefit and incentivize people that are not obeying God. So of course, you know, the outward thing, like how you look at different people that live certain lifestyles, which we're not going to get into and judge and none of that stuff, because, you know, I'm against all that stuff, right? But I can't say it here, right? But those people are incentivized to be able to have their voices heard louder than most other people. And if you say something against maybe the way somebody would want you to be referred to, maybe gender-wise, right? Gender-wise, then they're going to come against you, right? Because that's the narrative they want to push on the earth. They want the world to believe that's okay. That's what you should be accepting and loving to that lifestyle, taking not into consideration that other people have the right to make their own assertions and to have their own opinions and to be able to have a viewpoint that's in opposition to that mainframe opposition viewpoint. But see, they incentivize those that have all the viewpoints against God, the Most High Yah, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you know that they're being incentivized, while we're not. People that don't go for that side are not incentivized, right? So this is sin economy. But the sin economy that I'm talking about is people watching you purposely watching you so that they could try to manipulate you into believing that there are things going on around you that are more real than the Most High God. They use their witches, their warlocks, their wizards. They say that's a child of God. They know because we emanate a spirit in us when we believe in the Most High God. When we have a relationship with Christ. These people like Jeremiah 20:10, right? They're just sitting back trying to make a report on everybody. They're trying. Okay, here's another thing. Did you guys just hear about this rapper? I think it was what's his name? It was the rapper was from Gucci Mane. I don't know if anybody heard of Gucci Mane. If you heard of Gucci Mane in the chat, there's a rapper named Gucci Mane. And he has a rapper, 22-year-old kid that was just out of nowhere. He's gone. He's off the earth. There was no medical announcement. There's no no announcement from the medical side or doctors or anyone that said that made a statement of, that this person died and this person, this is what happened, or maybe it's too early for them to have that type of information, but they didn't come out with it. Gucci Man came out with it out of nowhere. He's just like, oh yeah, this guy, my rapper, he's dead, and man, it's messed up. Something vague like that. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, they just pass it off like, okay, they pass it off like it's just okay. Oh well, back on to the next story. But this kid was just destroyed at 22, and nobody knows why. Now, of course, they're gonna try to assign it to some overdose, possibly. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you have people that have no rhyme or reason in life. They don't care about anything other than to find a way to change their reality in a way in which they will want to change. So they want to change their reality. And the way they do it, they found, is to make covenants with Satan and to take people out. So these perps, they want to take people out by causing them to experience a certain thing repetitively that's going to cause their minds to completely be overwhelmed. And now either you give in to their side and say, oh, I can't handle it. You just go and become a perp. You become now one of them, or you continue to, you go to God. If you don't go to God, then you try to deal with it on your own. And then that's when you get overwhelmed. All right. So I'm rambling. Anyways, God's child, how you doing?
Good. How are you? I don't know what happened to my cell. I just all of a sudden crapped out on me, of course. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
I'm doing better today. You've been having some really good shows. That's awesome. You can see that there are people that are really seeking, that listen to you. So we're getting a lot of good information, and I think that's paramount in overcoming this, because God says we perish for lack of information, or lack of knowledge rather. So we definitely need to know as much as we can about our enemy to be on the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. So since how about I don't know if you've seen the last show, there was somebody that was on here that was was throwing some nuggets. I mean, some real wisdom out here. And one of the things that she said was, and it was kind of caught my ear, is that when these perps do these perps that are filled with Satan's spirit, that maybe the witches and warlocks, they know who they are.
Yeah.
And when they cause targeted individuals to have an experience, some sort of spiritual attack, they don't feel any regret. It's not like they're trying to make you feel bad about something. Their drive is to make you feel all of the pain, because they want to make themselves feel like they've done some evil things in their life. So if they can cause you to have pain, that makes them feel better and like more at ease with what they've done. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it all depends on their motivation. So all of them have different motivations. So it depends on what kind of gang stalker you're dealing with. Some of them are homeless and they just need gift cards to survive. Some of them are mafia or cartel, and they do it just so that they're in league with the CIA and the government. They'll get less, pushback from the police. Then you've got the witches and warlocks that literally know what they're doing to Christians, or people that are assigned to become a Christian. Maybe they haven't even given their lives to Christ yet, but they'll start attacking them before they even give their lives to Christ. So you've got different motivations, but for the people that are definitely in league with Satan, like the witches and the warlocks, yes, a lot of it's projection, so they can seek relief. So they're projecting their own sins onto us, and there's a lot of relief seeking. And the ultimate goal is to make a TI into a blood sacrifice. So like the George Floyds, the Breonna Taylors, they were TIs. What was
that George Floyd was also a Mason, and that whole thing with the way we saw that he died. With the officer's knee on his neck. His knee was not actually on his neck. It was on a part of the side of the neck where it can cut your air off, but it won't kill you. Some people think that that was just a stage. Some people there's video.
I know, yeah.
Where they,
like it's a psyop.
Yeah, it was a psyop where the people even on the side that were talking really weren't there. That they were just completely put there like CGI because what they were saying wasn't matching up with what was going on with the guy in the back at the store. And anyways, there was a video that showed that whole scene was completely orchestrated. And also that George Floyd was not who we thought he was. He was actually a Mason.
Well, I think Masons can be targeted too, especially if a Mason is about to leave the organization and he's getting awakened to Christ and he's getting awakened to how satanic it is. They'll begin to become targeted until, you know, their blood sacrificed by their own lodge. So no one's off limits. Even the gang stalkers are targeted because if they stray from their script, they're dead. And they know that. So, you know, that keeps them in bondage to doing what Satan's pyramid wants them to do at any time of the day, you know. To be honest about George Floyd, I don't really get psyop. I know that it's easy for us to label a lot of stuff that we see on the news as a psyop because some of it is, but not with the George Floyd. I don't get that personally, but I definitely understand how people come to that conclusion, especially once they realize he was a Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you believe that there are a lot of how about this in the spiritual realm? So how do you believe that there's a lot of gang stalkers now that are actually being turned on by their handlers and are actually now more than ever before experiencing sort of like a judgment?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And why do you think that is now?
I think it's prophecy, right? First the church is judged and then everybody else. And to be honest, I don't know for sure. Really, this is my opinion. I think the church, we have already been judged. And now the rest of the world, like the evildoers, get to experience what we've been experiencing.
Well, it doesn't necessarily say the church will be judged first, says the Israelites will be judged first.
Okay.
But yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you think we're so you actually think we are kind of far into the end days? Like
I don't think we're at the sixth seal, but I think we're far into it. I do. I think the next seal to be broken is the sixth, but you know, who knows when that would happen. But yeah, I'm very hopeful that I'll see it in my lifetime, or at least my children will see it in their lifetime.
Now, when you say see it in your lifetime, do you mean like see Christ come back?
Yeah, the Messiah. Yeah, Yeshua HaMashiach. I know we all have different names, and I don't like to argue over semantics.
No. And hey, I wanted to also clear that up. I don't know if you've seen this on the video where I say if somebody says Jesus, I know who you're talking about, and this whole thing is spirit and truth. So
right.
I mean, we can't come from Christianity and then all of a sudden you realize you're an Israelite. Being an Israelite is not a religion. Israelite is a bloodline. It's like an acknowledgement.
The identity. Yeah.
It's an identity. So it's not like, so we are the people. Christ comes from us. So we just believe that, of course, he's our savior, but also we believe we got to obey his laws, his commandments, and that we basically just know who we are. Christianity is basically faith in Christ. He's the savior, came, sent from the Father, died, rose. He's coming again. There's no difference. It's just the fact that we are realizing who we are. So if you say Jesus, I'm completely fine. I'm not one of those dudes. I'm not one of those, oh, you said Jesus, so you don't believe in God. No, we believe in the same Christ. I say Yahusha, you say Jesus. It's the same thing, right?
Right.
Where are you at in your walk as far as like being a targeted individual? Like, have you found that it's gotten easier for you? Time has gotten long, or is it the same?
There's hills and valleys, you know, so and that's all contingent upon what I'm reaping and sowing. So if I'm, reaping or I'm sowing in spiritual, if I'm fasting and praying pretty regularly and repenting, then I'm going to reap in peace and love. And I'm going to be able to not react violently. I'm not going to have that automatic response of rage like Satan and his pyramid of people assume that I will. But if I am going through periods where I feel depressed and, I'm playing the woe is me pity party and I stop reading the Bible so much and I become, I don't know, complacent, then that's when I realized, I'm reaping in some death, some spiritual death. And it feels like depression, and it feels like confusion. And it's just a lack of peace. And that's when you start to feel the rage kind of billow up inside of you, and their tactics are much more successful during those periods of time.
So the sin and everything, the
Yeah.
decisions you make can increase your targeting 100-fold. But
I
it's not
think
a
so.
root cause, but it can increase it.
Right. I don't think it ever leaves. I've heard people say that it's supposed to dissipate completely if you're in right fellowship with God. I don't necessarily believe that. I think that's very discouraging. Um,
The reason
I
why they
think,
say that is because God's word, his word says, he says, if you are pleasing to God, then you shall, even your enemies shall be at peace with you. And so
yeah,
I understand what you're saying too. So I'm gonna let you keep going on with that. Then I'm gonna kind of come back and piggyback.
right. So I've noticed if I am gossiping less, if I'm reading my Bible more, if I'm fasting more, if I'm praying for my enemies, and not only praying for them to leave me alone, but praying for their salvation, praying for them to be blessed, praying for God to forgive them, then there's less brighting, there's less gaslighting, there's less demonic activity in my home. Um, Not saying it goes away completely. I can't even tell you that. And I wish I could because I have two small children, but I can't say that. And that's unfortunate, but that's the cross that I have to carry. And that's what Christ has told me. This is the cross you have to carry. Some people live most of their lives with disease and they still have to overcome, like the depression that's involved with having an infirmity. So this is my thing. This is my thorn, and I just have to learn to still be happy and still worship him and still love him and still, carry out his expectations in my own life story.
So I think everybody should that heard God's child, she said some stuff that is just, it's just the way it is. And she said some very interesting things. The Most High, he's with us, but he did not say that we would not go through the trial. He said the servant is not greater than the master. Christ went through hell when he was on earth, all to save us, but he went through, showing us an example that we have to actually go through the trial like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and know he's in the fire with us. He didn't take them out of he didn't take them out of the fire
Yeah.
till later. He was actually there with them in the fire. So then when they came out, he was with them. He brought them out, but they were in the fire to show us you have to go through. So also, as far as when it comes to when you're at peace with God, or when you're pleasing to God, your enemy should be at peace with you. Yeah, that's the truth. But there's also the fiery trial. So absent of the fiery trial, that's not something that's my part of my experience either. I'm still a target individual that goes through the looks of people, the people saying things in weird moments, people paying too much attention, all of the other symptoms. But I've noticed in my experience that when I'm, like God's child said, when I'm doing things that's pleasing to God, praying, worshiping him, praying for other people, really making that effort every day in my heart, truly in my heart, to follow him, then what he does is he blesses me with the peace that passes understanding. He says, he who keeps his eyes on me shall stay in perfect peace. How do you keep your eyes on God? You keep your eyes on God by obeying him, by praising him, by making him a consistent part of your life. That's how you keep your eyes on God. You're not just keeping your eyes on someone that doesn't exist. What are you keeping your eyes on? You're keeping your eyes on him by having faith. You're allowing him to be the center of your life, the focal point. You're losing the selfishness. That shows God, the Most High Yah, that you are focusing on him, that you're keeping your eyes on him. So now he'll create your reality. He'll change it to be conducive to peace and love and bringing people in your life that will help you and be. That's how the spiritual realm works. They don't want us to have that. They don't want us to have that around, that light. They want us to be filled with darkness, to be completely persuaded and overtaken by the negative stimulus and all of these negative forces around us. These fake, made up, inorganic situations they create. And once we sell over to that, that's witchcraft. So God's child. So what do you think is the role of the targeted individual in this time? Like, what's our role now? What do we do as targeted individuals other than just survive and try to do things to make our lives better as far as our own peace for our own selves? What are we supposed to be doing?
using this as training. So using the spiritual warfare to reprogram your mind while you're reading the Bible, really burying all that word in your heart, let it be written on your heart. Every verse that you can actually like mentally, like just compile in your heart, just lock it in there as much as you can, because there might be a day where there's no Bible. So we need to know as many verses by heart than we possibly can. And if you are indwelt by the Holy Spirit, it'll be easier for you to recite verses. Even if you have some issues, I guess some, brain damage that sometimes happens with the forbidden technology that they use against us, that still won't even be an issue. So we're supposed to be training through fasting, reading the Bible, repenting, praying, because there will be a day, if God allows us to survive, where we're going to help others. And I don't know in what capacity, because I think all of us have different missions in the end times, but I think that we will be used heavily to help others in the end times.
Hey, God's child, do you think, I don't know how long you can be on here, but do you mind,
Yeah.
I really like your conversation, and I think that you have, you're right on top of it. You want to be one of the moderators in here?
Oh, wow. I would love to, Judah, but I'm a full-time student and I have 2 little girls and
No. What
yeah.
I mean is, a moderator is whenever you're here, you'll just be a moderator. Like, and if you see something going on in the chat that's not right, you can stop them or remove them. But it's not like you always have to be here. Just
Oh,
whenever
really?
you, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely be a moderator. Yeah.
most definitely, because that's there's some stuff going on in the chat, and I'm not looking at the chat, and so I don't want people to see messages that's just completely crazy and out of there.
I remember when I had my chat, they would put a lot of porn images in my chats. Yeah. To the
Yeah,
point where I just stopped doing it.
yeah, that's not.
Because it was just too much for me. And I didn't have any moderators. I didn't think about having moderators in the chat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it just kind of gets the whole message off when you got people talking about Satan and praising him and all these things. They're doing that, and they're trying to manipulate people in the chat. And then you're doing the video, and then all of a sudden you look over and people are just tripping, just like F you and what are you doing? And this guy's, you can't do that. So you can't do that here. Okay, hey, is there anything else that you would like to talk about while we got you?
Well, yeah. I think there was, me just emphasizing you guys that we can think like the other, speaker was talking about how we'll think, and the program is set up for us to think that these whole entire towns and cities are against us. That's quite the contrary. There are some good people that are Christians that wouldn't co-sign to this. Not only Christians, Hebrew Israelites, Messianic Jews, because there's many types of brethren. And we believe in the Messiah, we believe in Jesus. And so if they knew what was going on, they wouldn't subscribe to it. But
okay, now I want to stop you right there and just say she's coughing. Now we're targeting the visuals.
I'm
now,
sorry.
No. No.
Oh my God.
You have to be natural. See,
Right.
you can't cough now without somebody before saying you in the schools or wherever you're at saying, oh, well, he coughed or she coughed, now she's sick. That's not the case. So people do have natural type of responses. So anyways, go ahead.
Well, I've been getting over the flu. So in this area, there was a huge flu outbreak. My children have been exposed to the flu in daycare, and we're still trying to get over that. So this is not my normal voice, but and I deal with a lot of coughing now and a lot of mucus, which is strange because I've never really dealt with a lot of mucus, and that might be a symptom of being a TI and constantly being, our food and our air being contaminated and stuff like that. But I did want to overemphasize, you guys, even though we know there are people on the payroll, we know that there's literal people like, witches and warlocks, CIA, mafia, gang members, police, fire department, 911 dispatch, neighborhood watch, people's grandmothers and grandfathers, whatever. We know that they're on the payroll. But there are other people that are just demonically oppressed or possessed. And so they'll say things, the demons inside that are indwelling in their soul or their flesh or both will make them say things to trigger us so that we take all our aggression out on them when they're truly innocent, So that's what I just want to emphasize to everybody, just keep your thoughts in check and don't falsely accuse someone, because someone that's under the influence of demons can give the illusion that they are actually on the payroll when they're not. They just have a spiritual issue that they haven't fully dealt with. I'm sorry.
And I think that's the sad thing about it, is that they know that this is the way we would respond because of all these inorganic type scenarios they try to create, in our lives. Now they want us to not trust people, like no one. And so then they can say, oh, well, you're crazy because you don't trust anybody. You just completely different from everyone. And then, with time, it's possible that a psychosis can be created in people that do that. And so that's why that whole relationship thing is so important with God. Very important. You don't get. Okay, keep going.
Well, I'm sorry, I was just agreeing. Yeah, like what you're saying is completely factual. And it's what I've noticed with TI is some of the evil spirits that we really have to overcome is the spirit of fear and the spirit of doubt and the spirit of confusion and the spirit of rage and vengeance. Those are some of the primary evil spirits that are being sent to us by gang stalking witches, are the devil, are powers and principalities. They're kind of all in the same league together, right? They're all on the same team. And they can influence us because there's these continual wounds that keep on happening from our neighbors, from our coworkers, from even our family members and our friends. So we, like you said, you've even mentioned your primary tactic of binding and loosing. That's really big, binding those demons from manifesting within you, and then fasting to completely deliver yourself, or ask God to, intervene and, cleanse your spirit and your soul of demons so that these witches and warlocks can't influence you, because MK Ultra Mind Control and COINTEL Pro, it uses hypnosis, which is a form of witchcraft, and hypnosis uses demons as well. All witchcraft has demons intertwined in it, all forms. And so the programming that they put on you is layers and layers of programming, layers and layers of hypnosis, coding, all kinds of codes, all kinds of sounds, and colors and signs. And so they are trying to get to the point where they can control a TI to make sure that they could use a TI's destiny for Satan's end. So say they're able to, finally get a TI to the point where they're suicidal because they've bombarded them with they've sent so many demons to them, and the TI has lost all their faith in God. And so now they are, rushing them with more and more hypnosis and MK Ultra mind control programming to ensure that they go buy a gun and they walk into, some place of business and they just shoot it up. And then these evildoers are able to use that TI's destiny for the sake of their mental health agenda and say, see, this is what happens when you only trust in Jesus and you never take, your prescription meds and you never seek therapy. This is how you can end up, when really that person was completely bombarded by demons being sent to them like 24/7, and they didn't know, or it's not that they didn't know. Most of the time we know, it's just we fail to surrender, because fasting hurts. It really does. It not only hurts the flesh, it hurts our ego. It's very painful to our stomach. And so I've realized now that it's paramount, though, because we don't want them to use our destiny. We don't want them to change the script and make us look like the bad guy, like we were the bad guy the entire time. So, they had a right to stalk us and harass us. That's what they want, but we can't allow them to do that. And then another thing I want to tell you guys about fasting, to make this really stick in our minds, is that, it's been about appetites since the Garden of Eden. So God told them to suppress their appetite when it came to one single fruit. They failed to do that. And so ever since we've been forced out of the Garden of Eden, we now have to suppress our appetite regularly. We need to fast regularly because of what went down in the Garden of Eden. And then another thing, I think it actually cleanses our stomach. I think This is my opinion, though. I think the Holy Spirit dwells in our stomach. And so the cleaner our stomach is through fasting, whether we're fasting, doing a dry fast or a Daniel's fast, the better, the more the Holy Spirit can indwell inside of you.
So, hey,
Yeah.
no, that all that when you were talking about, of course, the Most High has a certain food like kosher type of food
Yeah.
laws of foods that we should eat, and that those foods do help cleanse our bodies out, because there's some clean foods and there's some foods that are not clean. And of course, being in Babylon, they've made our diet completely opposite from the diet the Most High would want us to have, and that was on purpose to keep us sick. And it goes along with their agenda to where they want to destroy, a certain population of people, but also that whole desire. We know that Satan does everything the opposite of God. So basically, God is saying that the next his kingdom is going to be for the few. You get that? His kingdom is going to be for the few, and right now it's for the many. So the satanic ones, the ones that control the world, they want to destroy the population, decrease the population. But so that right there, it's just so amazing when I look at it like this, because that shows you, regardless of what they think their aims are, they're always moving towards the aims of the Most High, regardless of how they want to look at it or not. The Most High God said that the next world, that at this time right now, we live in this kingdom, this Babylon kingdom, this Esau type kingdom. He says in the last days, Esau shall rule the world, but Jacob, which is the true Israelites, the Israelites of the Bible, the Negroes scattered to the four corners of the earth, they shall rule the next. So right when this age, this whole satanic age and all of this other worship other than a God that's the main God, the only God, when this time runs out, that next kingdom is going to be for few people, and that's going to be on the earth. And so these people want to destroy the people, and they're basically taking off the people that populate the earth. But look at what's really happening. Moving into the next kingdom, there's not going to be that many people there. So regardless of what they think they're doing, regardless of how far or how high up they feel like they are in this whole chess match, I think they believe they're having with God, which is stupid. They're not doing anything original. They're not doing anything that's going to support their ends. And in the end, they're going to perish, and everything they try to do is going to work out for the good of those that love God. So it's just like one of the things that when you are seeing the power of the enemy, and he's like comes in like a flood, and he tries to lie to you, and he puts his people around you, and his people just seem so overwhelmingly powerful, and they're doing these things that are just having this advantage. You got to realize that the one that created you, the one that controls good and evil, he's the one that's there, that is actually your hedge, that's actually just waiting for you to involve him into it, because he's the one that can stop everything going on in your life, or make it, not stop it maybe, because maybe he has a reason for you to go through it, but he can make it so that you will be able to go through it and have a mindset that can see it for what it is. Because if you don't have a mindset to see this for what it really is, you are going to be deceived. You're going to be convinced. You're going to start hating God, possibly. You're going to start hating people. And that's where the enemy wants you to be. He wants you to hate God, he wants you to hate people, and he wants you to lose your gifts, your talents, and of course your soul. Anyways, everybody once again, like, share, subscribe. I'm not leaving, but like, share, subscribe, push the thumbs up button, please. It don't take you no time to do that. Whenever you come into this chat from now on, even if I don't say it to you, you come in here, like, share, subscribe. You came here for a reason. If you choose to stay, blessings to you, excellent. If you choose not to, blessings to you, excellent. But push that thumbs up button, because it brings more traffic here. I don't care. It's not about, oh, you like this so much and you're going to give me a thumbs up because I'm doing such a great job and you love the guest. No, it's not even about that. It's about bringing these cats to the channel so that we can have more conversation and build this whole thing up. Subscribe. And here's the selfish part. It's not really selfish. If you would want to donate to the channel, Cash App is $ Judah J Talks 144. You can see it down here on the banner. So if you wanted to give to the channel, you're basically giving so the channel can be improved. So there'd be better sound quality, better visuals. And also, like I told you before, everything else was taken care of with me. But as you know, the gas is crazy and I got a job. So that's also what that would go for. Anyways, God's child. You have a little bit more time?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, and it's so nice to have fellowship with you guys because it's like if you try to talk about this kind of spiritual warfare to the average Christian, it just blows their mind.
Oh,
And then
wide
it makes you start to think like, well, why, like why are they not experiencing this? And that can be confusing altogether, that some
Can
of
you
us,
elaborate
yeah,
elaborate with that? Elaborate on your thoughts of now. Hold on. Here's a question.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you're going through this experience as a target individual, and you're wondering why people that say people that have this relationship with God and they
yeah.
believe in Christ. You're wondering why they're not going through these things in these last times, how evil it is. And you're sitting back like you don't see any of this stuff going on, or maybe you're not going through what I'm going through, but you
Yeah.
don't notice a change like they're back in 1990 or something. Where are you coming with that? What do you
Well,
think?
what's frustrating is because we'll try to fellowship with the people around us, and we might even open up to those people. And I remember I met a group of people, a group of Christians that they would meet 3 or 4 times a week. They would have like these worship and fellowship inside the home. They're not Jehovah Witnesses. Um, and they were the nicest, sweetest, kindest people I've ever met as far as people that believe. And that's across the board. I have to be honest, in my opinion, like they were just so loving. And I know love covers a multitude of sins. So I always have tried to get to that level. But then I would talk to them about spiritual warfare
Mm.
and
They got
they
scared.
wouldn't. Yes, it was very scary for them to learn of my experiences. Um, and I would like ask God, I'm like, I don't understand. I understand they grew up in the church, and I just became a convert later in life, much later in life.
Mhm.
But it's the end times. So aren't all believers supposed to be going through this, spiritual warfare, aka training, aka sanctification process, aka glorification process? And God was kind of silent. Like he never answered that question. And I have to be honest that definitely, confused me. But all I knew was that they were very loving. And I thought, okay, well, maybe God has got them at a certain degree where they're already there, right? And I hate to say that they're already there. They didn't need this form of spiritual warfare to get them there. I know I needed it. I was in the world, I was smoking weed, I was fornicating, I was doing prescription drugs. I was totally programmed by Satan's world, and I did everything to seek relief that Satan's world suggests that we should do. And I had gotten to the point where I didn't even believe God because I had been through so much trauma, and so I didn't think that if a God existed, that he would allow me to go through trauma, especially at such an early age. I was going through trauma at the age of like 2 and 3 years old, sexual and physical trauma. So, um, but then I came to the realization when I see these Christians and we be in public, I believe they are targeted. They just don't know. It hasn't become overt. It's still in the covert stages with them. And I don't know if they'll make it to the point where it becomes overt like it happened to me 12 years ago. But I see them being followed, just like I was being followed, but they never paid attention to it. And if I tried to bring it to their attention, they would look at me like, oh my gosh, Candace, I think you're a little crazy.
No. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
It's something that I think there's a veil that is, and
Yeah.
I've talked to this with some other people. It's like there's a veil that's over the eyes of people, and I'm not saying that this veil is only over their eyes because they're not gods, they're not the Father Yahs, they're not His people. I'm not saying that, but I'm
Yeah.
saying that we all come to this knowledge, this understanding at the time in which He would want, and it's a time that's specific to a person, and only the Most High Yah knows when that time is. But when you are awakened to it, right, you now have a different perspective on as far as the reality, your life, how you fit in life, how God is involved in it, how even the enemy is involved, and it kind of like gives you a new perspective on just everything. And a lot of Christians, those that say they're Christians, not to go against them, they were in an experience where they were told that they were going to be taken out of here before the bad stuff happened. And I remember being Christians in Pentecostal church, and it was all about the rapture is going to happen, and we're not going to see the Antichrist, and we're not going to go once these things happen, these seals, these judgments, that we're not going to be here because he's going to remove us. We're going to be in the marriage kingdom up in heaven while everything is bad going on earth. And so I basically, honestly, to tell you the truth, it developed in me a sense of superiority. And it also made me look down on people that didn't have God. And I start to say, oh, I won't be here, but you will. So I got to basically try to help you to get where I'm at so you can be where I'm going to be, because I'm not going to be here when all this stuff happens. And I realized I realized in my own walk that was not really the understanding and the knowledge that I was supposed to have. Because as you can see now, when you don't prepare, you are not prepared. Let me say that again. When you don't prepare, you are not prepared. So if you thought you were going to get taken out of here before the bad stuff happened, because you have faith in Christ, even demons have faith in Christ. Why? How do you obey Christ? How do you really have a relationship? He said, if you love me, you will obey me. That means you obey his commandments. You have to have faith. You're saved. Yeah. Anyone that believes that the Father sent the Son, Yahushua Mashiach, Jesus Christ, to come and die for their sins, and he rose on the third day, they shall have an everlasting life. Also, if you love me, you shall obey me. And then he also says that I will spew out those from my mouth that are lukewarm. I'd rather you be cold or hot. Why did he say that? Because there's responsibility. We have to obey him. He says he didn't come to get rid of the law. He didn't come to get rid of the law. Christ, he fulfilled the law. So we have actually a responsibility. And if you want to play Russian roulette with your life and your soul and say, I'm just going to trust, okay, I just trust that he died. Okay. But then your life don't match up. You're not actually consecrating your flesh. You're actually not turning it over to him. There's no indication that you are actually a changed person as operating with his Holy Spirit. If you want to be that person, you go ahead and take that chance. But I would say there is a responsibility. And of course, the Spirit changes you. We're saved by grace. I know I went off left, right field, left, whatever. We're saved by grace, but that grace was given so that we would actually turn back to him. It's not to say, oh, you have this grace from Christ because he died for you, and now you can continue to live as the world. The people that he's trying to take you away from being judged with. So when you believe in Christ and he died for you, you believe. His blood saved you. It's shed for you. Blood saves you. You believe now. So he says the just shall live by faith. But now the thing is you are saved so that a conversion could happen. If the conversion does not happen by you actually dying to yourself, he says, if you want to follow me, then he says you have to die. Basically, this is paraphrasing. You have to die to yourself and pick up your cross and follow me. Basically, that means you have to leave the old life behind, the worldly life. We once walked in the manner as the world. Now we don't. We're renewed. This is paraphrasing, in Christ. So now we are basically attached to Christ. So now because of our walk, because of who we are, connection by trusting in him and also obeying him, now we basically have share in the life that Christ has. But if we're not walking in that fashion, then we're not going to have that life. And when it comes back to Christians, and this is the last thing I'll say on this, a lot of Christians went to sleep. They went to sleep years ago, and because they thought they wasn't going to have to go through these times. But now, because they didn't prepare, now you got all of this evil that's on the earth. You got all of these decisions to make. You got all these like this, like that thing that they put in the arm. Oh, that's why I'm doing that. And I'm not going to go through that right now. But there's lots of decisions to make that cause you to have to use discernment and to have to use to be able to know when God is the Most High speaking, when God's speaking, and to know when the enemy is speaking. And so now they're flooded with all these lies and all of this. The world's different now. You got people saying, I'm not going to go through it, but the nouns. People are trying to decide they're going to be a cat, a dog, or do it, whatever else, right? And other things. They let that wasn't supposed to happen with the church on the watch, right? They're supposed to be on the watchtower. They're supposed to be those looking out for the fallen one and his people and their agendas and snuffing it out with the word of the Most High. They're supposed to be those people with that fire from the Most High Yah's word. They're supposed to be snuffing that out, coming against it with spiritual warfare. They didn't do that. You even got churches right now. I'm not going to go into it because I'm not going against the church. There's great people in the church. My families, a lot of my families in the church. I mean, look, listen, we are Christians. We not Christians. We are believers in Christ. I say Yahushua, somebody says Jesus, right? But there's just some things that the reason why I left the Christian church. There's lots of things that I see it and I'm like, okay, the power. You can have millions of steeples on every corner, but then you have a liquor store right next to it. And then you got prostitution right around that dang church. And it don't make sense that it's been like that forever. And no power was coming to that community. And it's just like, okay, where's the power of God? The power of God changes things. And I know in my experience, this is why I'm passionate. I know in my experience, the power of God changes things. So I'm looking for that power from a God that can actually change something, not this pipe dream that was sold to me years ago. And I'm not saying, and once again, and I'll stop right here on this thing. I'm not coming against Christians' faith in Christ. So don't even say that. I'm coming against the deception, the paganism. I'm coming against those ways that we were presented and those lies that was given to us on the pulpit by people that were not for us, that had an agenda, not to tell us the truth, not to try to cultivate us into being people that are pagans, that are liberals, that accepting of every doctrine and way that the world is trying to present to us. That's why a lot of people left the church. That's why I left the church. But I'm a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I'm a person that believes that Christ died for me. So that's the similarity and that's the difference. So yeah, well, I'm not a Christian, but I am a believer in the way, which is Christ, and I'm an Israelite, of course. God's child. I'm getting ready to. If you have any remaining last words for the day, I want to make you a moderator. I want you back on whenever you come on. I gotta find out how to do that anyway because I don't know how to do it right now. But
Me too. I've never moderated before, but I'll definitely once I learn, I'll help you out.
Yeah, so to give you a wrench, and if you see some stuff going on in the comment section, you could just hook it up and take care of it. But anyway, I love this conversation. It's amazing, beautiful conversations here. So anything lastly that you want to say for this broadcast?
Well, some of the missions, I think that some TIs, should they get through the training of this intense spiritual warfare, they might be doing some of God, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I used to be so good with my memory. But remember in the Bible where it says that the angels will harvest souls, so they will divide the wheats from the tares. They call those harvesting angels or soul harvesting angels. I think, and this is my opinion, I don't know, it's my theory though, I think one of the missions for TIs, should they graduate from this intense spiritual warfare, aka training and everything else it serves as, they will be helping in that harvesting. And to be honest, I know it might sound abstract. Some people say that we are angels. You never know. You really never know, because I know they are demon incarnates.
Yeah.
I know they make up a lot of the gang stalking community. And some people call them reptilians. I know there's, we can also refer to them possibly as the Nephilim. They have slits for eyes. They have no souls. The DSM-5 would say that they're a psychopath or a sociopath, but they're much more than that spiritually. And, we might be much more than a human being than we actually realize, so that's another theory as to why we might be going through this in the end times. Yeah,
I just honestly have to, right there on that one. Once again, channel. We have people that come on the channel and they have their views, and so once again, we have to make sure that we know that we're not trying to, we're not trying to tell you that's what you should do. But this is what God's child believes. Like, as far as me, I believe that I'm just a blood human man that's an Israelite that has been indwelled with the Holy Spirit. and that, my actions are only my actions if I'm walking righteously because of Christ, because Christ is the one whose spirit indwells in me and leads me to do the things that I do, not because now this is just me. I'm not coming against God, because she said that she thinks it's a possibility. You never know. And I'm being completely concrete. I don't do anything that's righteous or good or work any good in anybody's life of my own. Like my own is Christ, because I know who I am. I know the kind of person left without Christ that I can be, and it's not pretty. And so so I'm just in opposition there. But of course,
Yeah.
God's child has said so much great stuff, and we just a blessing to have people like this on the channel. So yeah, anything else that you would like to say before because I got to close this thing down.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely just a theory. I don't know. Like I said, like
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit hasn't revealed that to me, but I wonder, if some of us are angel incarnates and then you've got the demon incarnates, and that's why this intense battle was going on between us. I don't know. It sounds plausible, but still I don't have revelation from the Holy Spirit or the Lord. So that's just my theory.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I just wanted to tell you guys, to stay focused on the Lord and just try to find beauty in anything, even the small things. And, just try to remain thankful. If you just have a roof over your head and you have a car that gets you from A to B, and you've got food in your pantry, then you have a lot to be thankful for. And just, try to focus on the good things rather than all the spiritual warfare, because it can make you very wounded, like it can deplete you as a soldier, and you don't want to be depleted. So you just want to really just keep that joy, the joy of the Lord, in your heart all the time, and just try to think about the things that you're thankful about, just so that you focus less on all the evil of this world, because it can consume you.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, God's child, thank you so much for coming on the channel. You already know how we feel about you here. You can always be here, wrench and all that stuff, moderator. Whenever you see me, and rest of the channel. So thank you so much, God's child. I'm gonna kind of wrap it up now. So thank you so much. Come back whenever. You are welcome. Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
All right.
God bless you.
God bless. God bless you. So Lee, man, you're fine, man. I mean, when it came to the moderator thing, if you're still there, I'm just basically filling out the process, and I kind of already had a live with God's child, and based off of our communication and some of the things that I feel so far from what our communication, how it went, I feel like I'm gonna make her a moderator right now, because you know what, I'm just starting the lives, and so you keep coming to the channel, and we gain a rapport, and moderating, it's a blessing that you want to be a moderator for me. That's a blessing. But don't trip on it. Thank you for coming. Keep coming back to this channel. And, if that's something that we need, and most definitely, I'll consider that as well. So I want to let you guys know it's a blessing for you to all be here. Remember, this channel is not about Judah J. It's not about you. It's about us as a collective. It's about us coming together so that we can solve some problems, so to find some remedies to some problems that we have, and to find a way to navigate through this thing on a day-to-day basis, because this little interaction we have might be the only piece that any of us get. You never know if you're dealing with real targeted individual. Now I'm talking about real ones. See, I'm a real target individual, but you never know if you're dealing with real target individuals that are in that comment section, and they're just looking at the comments to get that some sort of hope to make it through their targeting. They're terrified, a lot of them, maybe, because they don't have the tools. They come and the only thing they know are the symptoms and these weird, crazy monsters that are around, right? Doing all these noise campaigns, doing all these putting these things in their lives that are causing them, that's not normal. And they come to these boards and they're like, wow, what do I do? And then they come in and hear somebody share, and they hear somebody say this, they hear somebody say that. They're just like, whoa, okay, now I know I have a better sense of how to deal with this thing, how to move forward. I know that I can actually get through this thing. I can hold on for another day. Oh, they're talking about Christ? They're talking about that Christ is the one and he's the way. And if we have him, we can have his spirit to indwell us. And we can actually fight against these demonic spirits with spiritual warfare. Oh yeah, how do you do that? Spiritual warfare, how do you do that? And then you got this guy, Judah J, is actually engaging in the spiritual warfare, teaching us how to do it. And now we know how to have power. Now I'm going to engage in the spiritual warfare. I'm going to say the stuff that I bind every demonic spirit of witchcraft, sorcery, murder, death, destruction, every foul spirit, every lying spirit. I bind every demonic spirit of sickness, infirmity, violence, all hate and fear, every evil that's coming against me and my hopes and my desires from that the Most High has given me. And I cast those evil spirits out to the abyss. I bind those demonic spirits in every temple, man, woman, and child, every witch and warlock, and every demonic entity without a body that's ever been assigned to me or those that I love. And I cast those evil spirits out to the abyss. Thank you for answering my prayer, Father. You said anything I ask in your name, I shall receive. You said, Father, you've given me power to tread over serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and no harm shall come to me. Okay, Father, I've said it now. Give me the faith to believe. Now, come into my heart, and my circumstance. That's you've just learned. If you go back and look at this video and you watch it, and you watch what I just said there, that's spiritual warfare. Now you have to use faith. Faith, like that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for no weird reason. That's the faith to walk on water that does not waver. You stay steady. You keep. Now you said what you said. You have done the outward. You've spoken it out into the spirit, out into the realm, right? Because this is a spirit. We're speaking to spirits, right? You're speaking to the spiritual realm. You're speaking first and foremost to the Most High Yah. But now he's changing the spiritual realm based off of what you did. He has his holy angels fighting for you now. He's fighting for you now because you've allowed him to come in to your circumstance. The enemy don't want you to do that. I'm giving you guys, man, I wish you guys, man, I know that they're, you know what? I've taught you right now how to do spiritual warfare. But you're going to go at some, who knows, and look at the more targeted individual videos, and you're going to hear these people that are on there just talking about the electromagnetic weapons and how it burnt their skin and how they have people doing these things and parking outside their houses or whatever, the things that we've gone through. And you're going to put hopefully now, I'm not saying you, people put their minds and their trust on those things, or they maybe even watch it for entertainment at this point, when you should be trying to find a way out of this. Not just like, I'm not saying it's going to just stop completely, but what I'm saying is because you have to have a hedge to fight this. And this is the hedge the enemy knows that they don't want you to have. This is the secret. What I'm telling you, what I just did right there. A lot of time also, you go to these channels or whatever, not just channel, I'm not going to get some channels. There's some great channels out there, right? There's channels that are better than what I do. They can say it better than me. They can present things better. I know that. I'm just using the gifts the Most High has given me. And you chose to come here, right? But there's other channels out there that can express this thing and say this thing better than I ever could. They just got that gift and blessings because they're helping people good. But what I'm saying is this: a lot of people don't ever tell you. They say this is what you should do, but they don't tell you how to do it. I just told you how to do it. I actually showed you how to do the spiritual warfare. It comes with binding and casting out. You bind, you cast out. You bind the spirit, the evil spirit, whatever the spirit is. Let's say somebody's mocking you. Somebody's mocking you. One of those perps is mocking you. And they're saying stuff about you and they're mocking you, whatever you're going through. I bind every demonic mocking spirit in every temple, man, woman, and child, and every witch and warlock, and every demonic entity without a body that's ever been assigned to me. I cast these spirits out to the abyss in Yahushua Mashiach's name. And I thank you for answering my prayer. There you go. Now, believe. Steady. I'm showing you the process. Keep your faith and your mind on Christ. That he said it, so it has to happen. He says, anything you ask in my name, you shall receive. He says, everything with the Lord is yes and amen. You understand? You understand what I'm saying to you? So now you got power to defeat them. Now it's your faith. Everyone in the spiritual realm is looking at your faith to see if you actually believe now. Do you believe what you just said? Do you believe that when you said you bound that spirit, you cast it out to the abyss? And in Christ's name, do you believe that it's true or do you not believe it? Because if you don't believe it, then we're going to keep doing what we're doing. But if you do believe it, oh, shoot. Then it's like the pig. Now, when you believe it, guess what? You said it. You said his word. You bound the spirits. You cast them out to the abyss. You thanked him because you said, I thank you for answering my prayer. You got to thank him because that shows that you believe. Now, guess what happens in the spiritual realm? They're watching your faith now. Now, I told you to stay steady in your faith. Be Peter, walking on the water. Keep, no matter how much the stimuluses are around you, and this takes practice. You can't just, maybe you can, but a lot of times it takes you continuously doing this every day and pressing into the Lord and keep doing this and keep having faith in him and keeping your eyes on him. When I say keep your eyes on him, keep your eyes on his word, the truth of his word. Say his word, and then keep your eyes and your heart on the truth, that word's the truth. So whatever that word is that you bound, and then now you cast it out to the abyss because you sent it somewhere. You tied it up. You tied the evil spirit up. You cast it out to the abyss. It's not just tied up somewhere. You cast it out of your surroundings. So now you cast it away from you in Yahushua Mashiach's name. He took it there. You didn't do it. His word, you spoke back to him what he said. Now it's out there. That spirit's out of that person that's trying to gang stalk you. It's bound. It can't now, the spiritual rules. There's rules in the spiritual realm. They cannot do what the Most High Yah won't let them do. When you bind the spirits, they have to go. That which is bound on earth is bound in heaven. That which is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven. But it's like, I'm just saying words to you, aren't I? Am I just saying words to you? No, it's the truth. It's up to those to believe to manifest it. When you believe, it becomes manifest. When you believe, it becomes manifest. You believe in the Most High Yah's word and you apply it to your life, it becomes manifest in your life. That's how it works. And the demonic spirits don't want that. The people in power are all operating off of the low frequency. The people say frequencies, low spirits, the demonic spirits. That's the low. God is the high. The Most High Yah is the high. When you use his word, you're operating in a high frequency, right? Or high, not frequency. I don't use frequency. No, I don't use that stuff on this channel. You're operating with his Holy Spirit, right? So then now the ones that are doing the evil, they're shaking, they're trembling. Think of the pigs. You have to put these mental images in your mind about how Christ does this. So here, I'm gonna say it in a nutshell. This is what you do. Target individuals. Here's the hidden Anna. You can where am I at? 301:15 in the live. If you ever get a chance to come back and see it, start at 301:15. Here it is. You're going through something. You're seeing all these different evils going on around you. You're hearing the noise campaigns, the street stuff, all that. You're surrounded. You feel like, whoa, I'm just being inundated by these things, these stimuluses that the satanic kingdom and their people, their target, their perps. You say, okay, I bind every demonic spirit of witchcraft, sorcery, murder, whatever that thing is. I just say that. I say those spirits, but you bind whatever the spirit is that's happening to you right now. Of course, you bind it. And then you say, I cast these evil spirits out in Yahushua or Jesus' name, because it's, he's the one. And then you say, I thank you for answering my prayer. Now you've done it. You've done your part. You've spoken it into existence. The Most High Yah spoke everything in the world into existence. He spoke everything that exists into existence. He spoke it, right? That we see, So now after you've done that, this is where your mind goes. I'm telling you exactly what you need to do. Your mind now goes to the fact that you have to have faith steady like this, like steady. What do you have faith in? You keep your faith steady on his word that you just said. You bound it. He said that was just bound on earth, is bound in heaven. Now keep your faith on there. You also keep your mind stayed on the fact that he's right there with you, that Christ is right there in that room with you, but you just can't see him. So now you have faith that you said his word, you spoke it out, you said his word back to him, you thanked him for actually blessing you that he's going to actually manifest this word, because it says faith is the substance of faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So now we don't see it yet, but you're having faith that he's doing it. So now you're saying, okay, I prayed it, I bind the spirit, I cast it out, he took it out. Now I have the faith right here. I keep my mind, my heart on the fact that his word is true. Think about the word you just said. Now in your mind, think about him being right there. You can make a mental image of him being right there with you, and you keep it there. Now, what's happening right at that moment? When you keep it there, you've already said everything, you bound everything, you cast it out. Now you have that mental image of him in your mind, and you keep your faith on him and his word being true. At that moment, at that very moment, you're destroying stuff in the spiritual realm. At that moment right there, you're destroying stuff in the spiritual realm. The demons are all aware. Satan and his kingdom, they're freaking out because they know this faith is destroying them. Now, in your mind, think about the pigs. Think about the pigs that he said. Think about the spirits that he sent, that Christ sent into the pigs, and how the pigs he said, go into the pigs. When that man that had the legion of spirits, and he sent the spirits into the pigs. They go flying out into the water. That's the type of control Christ has over these demonic spirits. He's above every principality and every power, right? They obey him. So when you give him, that one that sent those spirits into the pigs, the power to do what he wants to do in your life by speaking his word, by putting that faith on him and trusting him, you're Peter now, walking on the water, doing things that are not natural. You're doing things that you're causing and shifting the way the spirit realm is being operated now. Now the demonic spirits don't have power to come and dwell in you. They don't have the power to affect your reality. They don't have power to overcome you. You have the power. You are the bully. You are at this point the bully now. But it's all about this. Keep it there, because they're not going to stop. They're going to test and see if your faith is actually as strong as it is. So you got to keep it there. Keep it there. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I've gone through so much, and I just can't express it. But I'm not saying it's easy. And I'm not saying I'm no guru when it comes to these things. But what I'm saying is I know based off my experience, you keep it there, and then you start to see things happening in the spiritual realm. You start to experience God's power, his strength, his provision. You start to see your peace starts to surround you. The people stop acting the way they normally did. The people stop doing the certain things that they were doing. Now, I'm not saying it's going to stop completely, but I'm saying you will feel that peace that passes understanding because your eyes are stayed on him. He says, he who keeps his eyes on me, so stay in perfect peace. That's how you do it. Faith in his word, believing in him. He honors that. He wants you to believe in him in a crazy world, and you still believe in him. He wants to see, oh, this person, they're going through this, and they still believe in me. You're the one that touched the hem of his garment. You're the one like Mary Magdalene that had the issue of different diseases. She was touching him when there's so many people around. What do you mean? You're being touched, Father, a master, all these people. Why are you asking, why are you being touched? Anyone could have touched you. Nope, someone with faith. It's all about faith. Check this out. And I'm about to be done here. The people that come to this channel that are not really of the Most High, and I said, even if you don't have a relationship with God, you're fine. Come in here. It's all about the targeted visual experience. It's fine. The perps, the ones that are the witches and the warlocks that do things in secret and try to manipulate the circumstance, try to show themselves as one thing when they're actually out to get you and they hate you and all this stuff. They know what I'm saying is true. And that gives me joy because they know that it's all about Christ. They know this thing that I'm saying right now. They know how it affects the spiritual realm. They know. They completely know that it changes everything they can do. It becomes like you're some sort of like, in their terms, it will make them feel like you're a wizard. Like, oh my gosh, how is he able to stop these advances? How is he able to? Because I'm not stopping anything. And they also know that I know that too. We don't have the power. It's not us. It's Christ. It's Christ in us. He's real. Christ is real, man. I live it. I know it. It's just the way it is. Christ is, man, he's the one. He's the king. He's the power, man. It's just real. It is real. Anybody that ever gets this, you will have some serious victories. And I'm not saying you're not gonna go through stuff. I go through stuff. We go through things, right? That's just, we live in a fallen world, an evil world. But our God is with us. And all we can do is put our trust in him. That's it. All we can do is put our trust in him. And when you do put your trust in him, the enemy, he hates that. He does not want to lose this is what the enemy wants to do. The enemy, Satan, all he wants to do is this. He knows he's burning in the lake of fire. If you guys ever felt like he has a chance. See, the ones that serve Satan, the Freemasons and all this stuff, churches, the Freemasons and all of these different secret societies and all these people that have decided to give their souls over to Satan and for the things that he has promised them, they are the ones deceived. Because the Bible said that there would be people deceived to believe a lie. But Satan ain't deceived. His fallen angels that are leading, that these people worship, these deities, they're not deceived. The demons that, like I said, the pigs, and they got sent into the pigs, they're not deceived either. They know what's up. They know they're done. They know Christ is real and he's going to judge. They've already been judged, not going to. They're already judged. They're just trying to get as many people to come with them on their side as possible, because to burn the lake of fire with them, because they hate people. And that goes back to what girl Brittany was saying the other day on the show. These perps, They don't care. They're deceiving you. They're giving you fool's gold by a lot of these people that act like they're TIs when they're fakes and they're perps and they're liars and they're just deceivers trying to find a way to put curses on you and do black magic and witchcraft and all these stuff. They're basically just deceiving you, right? But for the purpose is to destroy you. But why? It's the same reason why the fallen angels, the demons, and Satan that have no hope want to destroy you, right? They don't care. Their joy is knowing you're gonna fall. That knowing that wanting us to fall, right? That's their only joy, and that's why us as targeted individuals don't understand this program like we should. That we don't understand our enemy like we should. We don't even understand the following like we should. There is no love. There is no sympathy. There is no these natural sort of human things or emotional type of mindsets and that we have. They don't have that. You don't understand when you see a person walking on the street that are doing these target individual stuff, doing these gang stalking, engaging in these gang stalking type of things towards us. I'll just say things like remiss. They are most likely people that have no love in them. For whatever reason it happened, and I'm not here to say why it happened. I'm here to give you the general gist of it all. They do not have any love, semblance of love. They would do anything to meet their agenda, which is to cause you to be tormented or to lose Christ, because they know the truth. A lot of these perps and these perps, they feel like they are lost. They know they made the wrong decision. They know that the deal that they got with Satan is not the deal they wanted. They know that now they're being asked to do things they would never want to do. They probably just wanted to get out of a bad life situation. Life was treating them a certain way they felt, and people, they didn't have what they felt like they wanted, and they felt like they had a need for something. And then all of a sudden, they were presented with this golden nugget, they thought, from the fallen one, from his people, right? And they took the what's this called? The trick. They fell for it. And now they're getting some of the earthly kind of rewards. They're getting things paid for, possibly. They're able to even have relationships, because there's lots of honey traps out there. They can possibly fulfill themselves in a sexual manner, sexual needs being met whenever they want. They can get money probably when they want. They probably have houses and cars and all these material things that don't last. But then you know what? Now they're being asked to do things that even they don't want to do. They're asking to go against people and probably do things on a consistent rate that they never knew that this was going to be a part of the whole deal. But now they can't get out of it, these perps, and now they're just stuck. And if they try to get out, guess what? You got a whole community of these monsters that are now going to know that they're not following suit. So now they're watched. Now they're already watched, because when they decided to make that union with Satan and do the evil things they're doing to their brethren, people they don't even know, that spirit came in them. They made a proclamation to the Lord that they're going to completely go against him, against his people, against people he's trying to reach, and be for the fallen one. They've made a proclamation that they are going to do exactly what the Most High Yah and his commandments told us not to do. He said you should love our brethren. He didn't say you should hate your brethren and stalk your brethren or try to get revenge on your brethren, do evil to your brethren. He didn't tell them to do that. They've made it to where they are now a part of that construct of people that hate, of people that lie and try to steal, do all kind of manners of evils in this world to get a gain, sin economy. They've signed themselves up for the lake of fire. They've signed themselves up, and the only joy and peace they'll get is on this earth until at any point they can be taken out of here by the one they serve, which is Satan, because he has no love for them. He has deceived them. He has tricked them. He has deceived them and tricked them. That's who your perps are. And they won't, even at how clear I'm saying this, even how it seems like I don't see how anyone could not have heard what I just said there and understand the mindset, or the kind of the mindset that these perps go through. They don't want to keep doing, a lot of them, unless they're just completely possessed. unless they're just completely taken over by some demonic evil spirit that doesn't give them any rest, doesn't give them any peace. They give them, and they know what time it is when they're in their places alone. They're probably seeing all kind of evil spirits, and they're probably hearing things. And if all of them have they have a hive mind. So basically they're connected to one another, people, right? That also made that decision. A community like my friend, what's this? KT says a whole bunch of community actors. That's no other way to put it. You got a whole bunch of community actors that have decided to go against God, go against humanity for their own gain, because they feel like they have a God complex, that they have the right to be as God, do as they will. That's the whole of their law. They feel like there is nothing after this life, that in this life, this is the only life they have. And then after this life, they're just going to what? Float away to some what is that? Lollipop and sugar plum land, where there's no pain, there's no payback for what you did. There's nothing but torment, pain, fire. There's nothing but that. This is like a message from the 50s when it was like brimstone and hellfire, because that's what people needed to know. You live this life to gain entry into the next. I'm not perfect at all. Listen, bro. I'm not here sitting up on no perch judging nobody. I'm telling you the word of the Most High, because I've been woken up to understand what this program is, like many of you, but also because of the stuff that I've gone through in my own life. I know it's time to get right. I know that the Most High has always tugged at me, and he's done many things for me I can't even explain. He's my God, my power, my Savior, my strength, Yahushua Mashiach, Christ, the one that died at Calvary. He's the one. He's the light of the world. He truly is the one. He really is, guys. He's like the one. It's not even no joke. It's no game. You will experience him if you invite him in, and you make the decision to allow him to change you, to present himself to you. He will present himself to you in a way that happens in your spirit where you start to feel him. You'll know it's him. It's a knowing. Like them perps and them gang stalkers, they have Satan's spirit now, right? He gives them seething energies. Don't think people don't know about that stuff. He gives them certain energies, certain like blisses and joys that they can, that they have, maybe that circulates through their bodies, where they feel a certain joy and a lightness and man, I've seen all kind of stuff, bro. Come on, we ain't targeting individuals for nothing. God is also waking his children up as well. And I pray and claim to be one of the Most High's children based off of my faith in Yahushua Mashiach. And my seeking him and serving him the best that I can every day. So here's the thing. They have these things that the enemy, that he gives them certain feelings of joy and peace and bliss. And he gives, of course, some physical things. It deceives them. It's just long enough to keep them deceived so he can take them out and take their soul and then wave at God and say, look, I got another one. That's all it is. They're coming with me. After this thing is over, they're coming with me. That's all he wants to do. People don't understand it. They're just deceived. It's just a tragic thing. You actually think that you are going to get away with doing evil to people all your life, seeking to torment them, seeking to, regardless of what they've done, no matter of how you may think they're the stupidest, dumbest person on the face of the earth. This person's a liar. This person's this. You don't understand. They deserve to pay. But you're not God. You think you're God. You've been told you're God, but let me show you you're not God. When you close your eyes for the final time, do you have the ability to determine where you're going? Do you? Do you have that power? No, you know you don't have that power. Even the one that was named Anton LaVey, he was a Satanist. He was the head of Satanism. He's the one that you can go. I don't want you to go look at that, but he was the head of Satanism. And what he did was, when he was on his deathbed, he was dying in his deathbed, and he said he saw a vision. He said, "Oh no, this is not what it was supposed to be. Oh no, I've made a mistake." And then he died right then and there. Led all millions of people to Satanism. He's one of their forefathers that they hold in such high regard. And of course, they don't even acknowledge that he said that. They try to suppress that. But this head of Satanism, these people are out there saying, it's wrong. You talk about Christ. You say he should be, we should know about him. Then why shouldn't people know about Satanism? That's not fair. Why shouldn't that not be in the schools? Why can't you? That same one that led those people, kind of like, was a part, not the whole thing. There's other leaders in that whole Satanism thing that had a stamp on the earth. But Anton LaVey was one of those main ones. And when he died, he basically, out of his own mouth, he said, "Oh, what have I done? What have I?" And this was like words from people that seen him when he died, his family, that have now turned over, I guess, to serve Christ. Who knows if it's real? Who knows if it's not? That's not none of my business. But they said when he was on his deathbed, he said he made a big mistake. He was screaming, like, "What have I done? What is going on? This is not right." And then he died. And he's the one that was serving Satan and telling everyone else to serve Satan. Perps, you think you're going to get away with it, huh? You think you're going to get away with living life in opposition to Christ and having no desire, having no plan, having no, not seeking to turn around because you want to continue to stay in that? You want to continue to receive from this world. There's a God that's waking up everyone now. Targeted individuals, this community is getting bigger because now targeted individuals are ones that are to show other people how to actually get through this, and it has to lead to Christ. We can tell you about all the symptoms. We can tell you about how they're doing this and these things, these tactics they use. We can tell you, oh, well, the perps, they normally do it like this, and this is what you have to watch out for, and you got to watch out for this, that, this, and that, blah, that. But if they don't lead to Christ, they ain't telling you nothing. They ain't giving you the remedy of what you need to get through and to make it through. If it ain't Christ, it ain't nothing. Anyways, blessings to everybody. Please like, share, subscribe. Push the thumbs up even now if you want to. Push the thumbs up whenever, for the future. Whenever you come to this channel, please push the thumbs up. It brings people to the channel. It's the algorithm. It helps people come. We're going to build this channel up. It's going to be a channel that has as many people as the Most High Yah wants on here. I could care less about anything else. Whoever he brings in here, this is what it's going to be. But I want you to have the opportunity to be in here with people that have a whole bunch of different experiences so that they can share with you and increase your own knowledge capacity, your own knowledge base to increase your own basically so you can draw back and be able to pick up and bring, and when you're in a certain situation where you feel like you're overwhelmed, you can think about what someone else said that was on this channel. And it's not just one person or two people. You have a whole bunch of different people because on this channel is what I'm trying to make it. And you could draw back on that, those words they said, those words of encouragement, those words of strength that are hopefully to give you strength. And then you can hopefully make it through. Because I don't want people to have no weaponry against this program. You have to be able to have spiritual weapons. We don't fight our enemies the way that the world fights. The Most High Yah is the one that fights for us in the spiritual realm. That's how we fight. That's how I fight, right? Because he says vengeance is his. Let the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, Jesus Christ, take vengeance. Let him do it. And he's already starting to do it. So anyways, y'all, this has been a blessed conversation. Please like, share, subscribe. If you would like to donate to the channel, which is a blessing, it says Cash App right down here, $ Judah J Talks 144. That's $ Judah J Talks 144 at Cash App. It'd be a blessing to me, it'd be a blessing to the channel. So if that's what you would like to do, go ahead and do it. I will be making another live, hopefully tomorrow, God willing, y'all willing. And tomorrow it might be a video that I make. I'll get, ask the Most High if just in my prayer, what type of topic he will want me to have. Tomorrow most likely won't be a live. I'll do a live every other day. So everybody that's in the chat right now, you can expect whenever I have a live, you'll see in the video, in the upcoming videos, it will already be upcoming, but it'll say let's talk or something like that. So just be targeting a conversation. But then like tomorrow, I think I'm just gonna have another traditional video that's going to be about a topic that has something to do with either targeted individuals or Israelite topics, because this channel also deals with Israelite topics. And I also want to have people come on the channel where we try to talk about end time stuff that we see going on, stuff that's end time prophecy that's lining up with the news, what's going on around us. So what's the Bible saying? And then all of a sudden how it's lining up with the things in the world. And then we can just discuss that, because that's where my mind is really at. I'm a target individual. I've been a target individual, and I'm a target individual based off of my situation. But I'm an Israelite and a child of the Most High, and so basically, I don't even like saying I'm a targeted individual. I like saying that I am a child of the Most High Yah, Israelite that goes through targeted individual situations and things. That's what I'll say. So I'm not going to say I'm a targeted individual. I'm going to say I'm a child of the Most High Yah that, of course, goes through targeted individual situations. And this has been like this for me for years. So you know that's my situation. That's what I've gone through. But when you give words power, and I keep trying to tell you guys about giving words power, that's how the enemy gains victory over you, through the words that come out of your own mouth. When you start to give power to the enemy and say, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, you say this is going to happen, and you'll start assigning things to yourself. Then now that's what you are. That's now what's going to be around you. So you guys got to watch out for that. Anyways, tomorrow I'll make a video, and then the next day I'll make a live. So every other day, y'all willing, of course, I'll make a live, and then tomorrow I'll make a video, live video. That's how it'll be. All right. So anyways, y'all, I love you. Blessings to you. Push the likes, thumbs up. And here is the credits with the new song that I just made. This new song is me on the vocals, everything, rapping, lyrics, vocals. Oh, yeah, I want to tell you guys about that. So I'm about to start putting my music on the channel. I do, rap, hip hop, but it's like basically spiritual for the Most High Yah, uplifting him. Also just things about, the target individual experience. So most of my songs talk about stuff that's going on in the world, current events, target individual experiences, and then Israelite experiences. And I have a lot of tracks that I can upload. I don't normally get a lot of people views when it comes to the music. They like to see the videos more often. But hey, if you check out my music, I'm really saying some stuff and I really put some effort into it. And I think you really like it. So anyways, blessings to you and shalom.
You can feel my love. You can feel my.
That's the magnetic essence of the twisted Freud. Boys, the big boys, the expensive suits, the agendas, the crush the will of truth. Undergo the misplaced depths, red from the dead spun like threads. Against kids in the Gen X meds, fight for the mental, lead points the backs and slow down and make foul the brainwaves of Zion. Only dying but Orion got the deity thoughts, the new age hope, blotted and wrapped. Token and hijack message that led you to get casted and locked and trapped in a pack of cognizant dissonant scraps. But we pack strength in backpacks with holes so the foe can't go up the road and get stuck in the stagnant motion. No emotion, lost in the sauce and trying to pay no cost to rise above the flaws. This is sad story paid for and slow like the oldest trick you could ever know. Figure it, but still the drip of bad dreams and frequencies and misdirected by deities, dispelled chains without an ounce of love. The blood of sacrifice is the price he paid to protect us from the well thought out rage that's pain to trap us in the maze. But you ain't getting phased by that, is you? You ain't getting phased by that, is ya?